see.
So Pedi was here, but he probably went to get something to eat quick, so we can technically start.
Yes.
Yes.
Saw this comic that reminded me of Breya today that I forgot to copy and put in the chat. But essentially, this like very short girl was lifting her roommate over her head and like doing push-ups. No, not push-ups, but like push-ups in the air with her roommate. And someone else comes in, they're like, what are you doing? She's like, the gym was closed today. I'm
fair.
like, that is Breya.
You know what? That's fair.
That's what my dad used to do to me. When I was a lot smaller and he was in the military, he would just use me as a weight. I thought it was hilarious.
1 second, be right back.
Okay.
Okay. My dad was also in the military, and so was my uncle, and so was my other uncle.
So was my other.
Pretty much my dad and his brothers all signed up for the military.
As far as my family tree, I think it's just me and my dad. I don't think anybody else ever really.
Yeah, I know my grandpa also was in the military, and I think his dad also fought. I think his dad fought in World War One, and then my grandpa in World War Two. And then my dad and his brothers all went into the military, but my dad was a airplane mechanic.
Oh, okay.
So he worked in the airbase. My uncle was a chef, but he did fight in the Gulf War, and he did 2 jobs. He cooked for people, but he also had to clean up bodies, which pretty severely traumatized him.
That's horrible extra duty.
I'm
Yeah,
back.
he is very like, fuck the government, fuck the military, I trust no one now.
I
That's
imagine.
And my other uncle, I don't know him so well because he moved to the Midwest to get away from his mother. So I'm not sure what he did. I just knew he also served.
I don't know what it is. I work with a lot of veterans working at Veteran Affairs,
Yeah.
but for some reason the cooks, a large portion of the cooks suffer from a healthy a healthy uh, a healthy amount of paranoia. I guess is the best way to phrase it.
I think it's
I was
probably
like, what did
because
the military do to the poor cooks, man?
yeah, I think it's probably
Levi.
because doing jobs like my uncle did, but also just seeing mistreatment and stuff like that probably jades you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
Pedi.
Petey?
Yep.
Hey, Petey!
Hey gosh. Hey
Oh.
everybody.
Did me?
Hello. Zeus, are you gonna come up here so I can get you on the camera? Come on.
So.
Come here.
Where did we leave off
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
Ooh.
puppy.
We,
Big old puppy.
you and I were in the library.
Little puppy.
Yes, we were in the library.
Big puppy. Hi.
So many
Hi,
puppies.
Yuelia,
Little puppy.
Yuelia offered a cookie to your masked friend.
Cookies.
Yeah, we made a deal with our mask friend. That's what happened.
Do you please tell me you tell Mirra that they liked her cookies?
Nope.
Oh
not
yeah,
yet.
I'll pass that on and ask her
Nope,
to
not
bake
yet.
more.
Nope, not yet.
We'll pass it on when we get
Definitely
back.
gonna
but-
say that they're stale though.
Yeah, we need fresh.
Dude,
cookies to
your
break them with.
cookies were the one that's been in your bag of holding since
I'm surprised they held up.
Right. Scotty Barber, tell me.
beginning
Yeah, no, they've been there for a long while.
for a hot minute.
Yep,
But
they've been there for a
I literally
long
just
while.
made more yesterday in game.
Gotta
So,
talk them out.
cause I got a whole bunch of supplies.
It's been in there for a hot 2 weeks.
If we could get like a tin container that was magical, and anything you put inside of it stays in the pristine condition of it being freshly
It's
baked.
fresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
DM!
I wonder if I can whip something.
Guy
It
is
stays
here!
fresh like they
Hello,
just came out of
Guy!
the
Guys
oven.
here early.
Hi, guy.
Hello, guys.
Guy is here early.
Well, there
Fun time.
is.
There is an orb of
I was
preservation!
about to say, in the very first campaign, one of the players got an orb of preservation. But no, it doesn't preserve everything. It just preserves food. That's it.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
we had a big old supply crate that was full of meat, and the orb was just in there, so we could just pull out fresh meat. we we threw an impromptu party once.
One of the
Well,
players.
purify food and water does not work that way, unfortunately.
Aw. Yeah, that's why the Orb of
It
Preservation
just removes it of
was
poison
so
and
good.
disease. Which, by the way, I have that, so we don't have to worry about being
Is like foodborne bacteria a disease?
Disease? I wonder the same.
Like, can
Yeah.
you get? Can it
think
like get
so.
rid of salmonella on like a sandwich?
Correct.
Question is, does that exist in this universe?
Yes. Well,
So
it
they
may
do
not be
have that
referred
guy.
to.
They do.
It may not be referred to in the reality world as its equivalent, but yeah, there's
Okay.
you can get sick by eating raw food.
I
It's called the
can't.
chicken sickness.
I'm a paladin. I
It's
don't
most
think I
associated
can.
with undercooked poultry, so it's the chicken sickness.
You already have immunity to disease.
Yes,
The
I do.
chicken sicken.
Kid, I'm just gonna start feeding your.
No,
whatever the hell
guy.
I
What
can
happened at the farm hotel that
That
you
is what
stayed
Breya's
at?
gonna call it from now on. Don't get yourself the chicken sicken.
Oh, I like it. I
Chicken
like it
sicken.
a
Good
lot.
chicken chicken. Who else is here today?
James is
Uh,
gonna be about an
For
hour
the
late.
time, for the time being, you guys.
We're two people will be late, so they'll be.
I
showing
just
up.
saw Crusix
Oh, yeah,
roll.
Captain.
Was that you, Josh?
That was not me.
Well,
Ooh.
Crusix just rolled.
He probably has his page open and his cat touched something.
Oh,
Or he
he's
just
here.
Or there he
joined.
is. He's not late. Well, he's a little late.
I
hello,
was gonna say I
friend.
saw him roll, so
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, you in your vehicle. You be safe. You stop that right now, sir. Sir.
Oh,
Sir, I'm gonna need you to stay safe.
He's driving.
he's
Look at that
multitasking.
face. Look at that face.
To be
Yeah,
fair, I
really
would do the
focused.
same thing.
You know,
And then
I
just
was in
tell
traffic.
Pedi to roll for me. Pedi, I want to do this, but you do
Right.
it.
Aye, aye.
Aye aye.
Yeah, no. Literally, I was on the road for most of the day. Not most of the day. A good, like, 2 hours
Titan.
Alright.
doing this.
Titan.
So,
Shush.
Oh my goodness.
when we
Focus on the
last
road, sir. Focus on the road.
Focus on the road. We see you. You focus on the road.
That's not
Okay.
the-
Wait.
You
Hold on,
drive.
hold on.
You
In a
look
second,
at
you gotta turn
driving.
off this camera so you can't judge me anymore.
Who is D&Ding and driving?
That would be Paul.
Okay,
Aw.
guys. I got one of Guy's jokes. Okay.
Some D&D
no.
He
driving.
said, yes, did I tell you about the farm hotel I stayed at? The rooms at the farm hotel were built around the grain silo. In the corridor outside my door, you could hear the grain being poured. I went to sleep listening to the Hall & Oates.
That went over my head.
Hall & Oates, it's a band. Oh my
All
god.
notes is bad.
Okay.
Here,
I
this
did.
girl
That went over my head.
has gone too far. You don't know that song?
Nope.
I didn't get that one either.
I didn't even hear what you said, to be honest with you.
Oh. I got it because
Thank you,
I
Breya.
grew up with my mom who listens to Hall & Oates.
The Hall &
yeah,
Oates.
Definitely
I've
not.
also.
Well,
Definitely.
Well, you got some of us, Guy. Why am I- Is it
When
orange?
when we last came together,
Left off.
some of you went to the library to more or less accomplish some tasks. Some of you went to other places to accomplish other tasks. Lately, it's been more of a finding out information, getting stuff squared away. But there's not a whole lot to tell other than Group A, which I'm going to say is Yuelia and Breya. They're at the library and they can choose to go to another location.
Nope, I need to talk to Clue.
And Group B is incoming pizza. Group B.
Pizza!
Group
Pizza.
B is traveling together. And that is Crusix, Lydia, Mirra, Rainfart.
That was it. I think that was it.
Shrike went back on the boat to be with Ressa.
Ressa was taking
And
a while.
Aurora hasn't left the boat. Correct.
Right. The doctor was coming to see Ressa because it turns out, like, dryaders are rare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very. I don't know if I went into a lot of description on it, but yes.
Okay.
So,
Have my dice.
I need one person from each group to roll a d20.
Not
Okay.
Please re-roll if there is a tie.
Alright, I'll take it.
That's a 3.
That is an 11.
Pedi, why did I let you roll?
That was your mistake.
That was my mistake.
Well,
I'm sorry. I was talking
It's
to
just
guys.
determining who's first, I'm sure.
I was about to say, since you guys are split up, I'm just determining to see who goes first. Mikey is absolutely correct. So, let me go ahead.
Crusix
Oh,
got a 19. You drive! You drive safe! Oh gosh, there's so many things popping up.
so,
Yeah, no, we can't hear you.
we're gonna take the whole thing back to the library. The masked individual has just left. Breya and Yuelia, you're up.
Oh, I rolled a 3. Is it lowest number?
Yeah, it was.
It's golf
Oh.
rolled,
Oh,
Yeah.
Pedi, that was your time to shine.
and I failed you. I think it's just failure.
It's a failure. Okay,
You're the best
Can
in
you hear me now?
what?
Yeah,
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
very little bit, not all too well.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm gonna. We had finished talking to our friend. That had just appeared. Friend in quotations. Well, is there anything else you wanted to do here, Breya?
sorry, I'm.
Well, we can't really find any more about the god of games.
No, not here.
We might need to look in some other places, but we should go regroup and let everyone know what we accomplished.
That's a good idea, but I want to talk to Clue first.
Yeah,
before
go
we
ahead.
Would you like to go with, or?
Yeah, I can stay. It's not a problem.
What? Then what the?
So it doesn't take very long to move over
know.
in the library.
I know where she's usually at.
She usually does not stray from that location, like, ever.
Have a new mouse.
The thing is you don't think you've ever seen her eat or literally do anything but her research. It's kind of.
I recall not even age.
But
From what I recall.
hang on, I'm getting a message. But let's see what this is. Okay. But as you are coming to a very secluded part of the library, I guess, Breya, you would see this owl sitting on top of a long desk with a whole bunch of things going on. I'm sure you've seen one of those alchemy tables where there's like a whole bunch of potions and it's like one nozzle. It's all connected, but there's tons of boiling and glowing objects and. But there's this. Let me see if I can grab her picture really quick.
Make sure you look at my other message too.
It
Yes.
was in our chat for the longest, like, for a good while.
The longest time.
For the longest time, so I'd have to dig for that. Let me see.
Any pictures?
Are we getting more people?
Found it.
Oh, okay.
At least a picture of
You
Clue?
want 5 people?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to post it in character chat, I'd appreciate it. But this is the owl that you see on the table. But you.
Pretty majestic.
Have you never met Clue?
Okay.
I don't think anybody ever has, but you.
Oh. Good.
But was the yes to my last message, or yes, you will read it because it's important.
Did you want to do that right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yuelia, are you
so
going to
all you
continue
have to
to move
click
up
that
to
link I sent you, 'cause
talk to
then
Clue?
It's like a promo
Yeah.
thing, so they'll give you $5.
He seems to be very, very much
and because I sent it, I'll get $5 for
either lost
So
in
if you
thought
click
or
that
very
link
much
and you
concentrating
download
on
it-
what she's doing.
I'm going to immediately run up to her and
All you
tackle
do is
her,
you click
hug her.
that to download it, and then like, oh, enter your name, enter your phone number, and then you just.
And she has no idea you're coming.
Okay.
So all you hear is, oh, my word,
Yes,
ruffian.
Okay.
Oh, Yuelia,
Okay. Have a good night.
you almost gave me a heart attack.
I'm back. At least for a little.
It is so wonderful to see you.
How have things been here?
Well, to be expected. It's not every day that I get assistants of your caliber. I don't think there are any assistants of your caliber. But that's likely why we promoted you to librarian now, isn't it?
Speaking of, we heard Bellhaven left off to the Alliance Islands, or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't remember what they're called.
You did. Why?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
I mean, I know that he goes every once in a while, but
Oh, okay.
to go now, of all time?
Yeah, it's weird, and we both know that old coot can't really, isn't really the type to, what's the word? To really be a messenger. I don't know, it's not him. Did he seem okay before he left? Worried?
I haven't talked to him in quite some time, given that I normally am very involved in my research. It's not often that I associate with anyone particularly but you. And I think I've pretty much driven off all the other assistants that the kingdom has tried to give me. I can't help it if they're imbeciles. In any case, I'm glad to see that you've come back unharmed. Are you planning to continue?
This is Breya, and I'm gonna introduce her to Breya.
It's one of those anime things where you turn and there's like the dotted outline, but there's nothing there. Boop, boop. And here's Breya. Breya?
Oh. Well. Okay. I had one of the.
Well, I had a
people-
friend.
I had someone I was
She
looking
goes,
at. I was looking over.
oh, my dear.
Oh.
No.
You haven't started creating imaginary friends now, have you?
We're a bad
No.
influence.
I have Elvie. I'm good.
Oh, yes. How is she doing?
She'll appear and puff up right next to her.
Oh, splendid. You both were always such highlights of my day. So, you're going to continue back at the library now, yes?
Not yet. There's still a couple things.
She visibly becomes disappointed.
I'm sorry. I would love to be back because we were just at the person I was going to introduce you, and There wasn't anything around. I couldn't do any research. It was hard to get any type of materials. It was rough. And boy, did we get into trouble.
You? Trouble?
Well, that's
You
the reason
never
why
get into trouble.
that's why I was sent out with them. They get themselves into trouble.
I'm a good noodle.
I did hear this year's elites were known to cause a ruckus. Is that who you're traveling with?
For the time being.
Other than... What was her name? The one that's a halfling, but bigger than a halfling. I heard that she did pretty good academically, but I can't be bothered to memorize everyone's name.
That's pretty sure that's Breya.
Oh.
That's the one who I was going to introduce you to, but she disappeared on me.
At least it sounds like one of them has a head on their shoulders, at least.
I hope so.
Is there anything in particular I can help you with? I imagine that you came to see me just to talk about it, if I knew if Belhaven...
No, I mean, I wanted to check up on you. It's been a while, but... Do you know anything about the King of Games?
King of Games?
Yeah.
The God of Games.
God of Games. Oops. God of Games.
Where did that metagaming pigeon come from?
What? There was nothing here.
I don't know what you're...
He heard Breya's voice echo in his head. Man, now there's nothing to learn about the God of Games.
God of Games. Not King,
But
God.
that doesn't particularly sound familiar. It's definitely not any of the known pantheon of the deities.
No, this one's different. We can't seem to get a lot of information, but we know he's linked to something bad.
I mean, he would have to be a much lesser known god for there not to be hardly any information on them.
Unless he's not a god at all, and he's just pretending to be.
What are you getting yourself into?
We're
Yeah.
bad influences! I'm sorry. I'm not a good noodle.
But I guess I should get back to my friends and figure out what we're going to do next. But I promise I will be back.
She lets out an audible sigh, but you know you can always come back with any requests or any help that I can give. Only you. Just so you know, it's a privilege. I don't do that for anybody. Not even the king.
Of course.
They asked me for
I
help the
would
other day, and I
love
told them to
to
stop
do
it.
I would love to,
I love them.
but
I love them
there's
so
just
much.
a lot of things that's going on right now, and I think we need to do some more investigating.
I put great value in you. You better come back safely. I mean it.
I will. What are you working on?
Well, in particular, I'm analyzing, I guess you could say, residue that was left behind in a number of instances that have been happening lately.
Ooh, I got something. I pull out my, what was it? I need to find it. The black pudding powder. You just give it to her. You think you could do anything with this?
She takes it in one of her claws and kind of inspects it. What is it?
It's powder from a black pudding.
She kind of frowns Black? You mean the puddings that destroy things that they get a hold of? Pudding.
Does she know how to fix things that they destroy?
Yes.
Cool.
She kind of tilts her head a little bit and she goes, Slimes don't turn into powder.
Oh shit.
Are you sure this is powder of a slime?
We defeated it. It was a black pudding, and
You got in a fight with a black pudding?
yeah, actually, I was gonna talk to you about that. Yeah, we got into a fight with a black pudding. One of our members actually managed to lose an enchantment on their weapons. You wouldn't happen to know how to reestablish an enchantment, would you? I mean, I know you're amazing, so...
Enchantment is not my field of study, I'm afraid. I study the school of evocation,
Right.
as it will. But I believe that is a particular trait of the elves. While the dwarves were the best at forging items, elves were the best at enchanting them or taking the enchantments off.
Surely Valona has to have some form of, or someone here with the knowledge of enchantments.
It's part of their trade. As much as Valona has tried to make deals with them in order to establish a relationship to have that kind of technology, I suppose, we have not succeeded. They keep it very well, or very close to their chest, so to speak.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna take this back, I guess. Unless you think you can use it for something, or...
Not that I can particularly think of.
Okay, I'm just gonna take it back.
She hands it back to you.
Alright, I'm gonna go find some friends and figure out what our next move is. Thanks again, it was nice seeing you.
I look forward to seeing you again, my young people. Go spread your knowledge to the ignorant masses.
Gonna give her one last big hug and try to find Breya.
The second time you give her a hug is much more warm and embraced, whereas the first one was kind of chaotic with flapping and screaming.
Oh god, what I miss.
The thing that kind of piques your interest, though, is that usually, what was her name? Drafia? I can't remember.
The bugbear.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Drafia.
Or something along those lines. But,
yes,
when,
Drafia, D-R-E-F-I-A. Bugbear.
But, the thing that's peculiar is you didn't hear Drafia trying to shush you when Clue was screaming. So that kind of is weird.
Who is she again?
She is...
Bugbear.
She's a bugbear, and she's a librarian, and she likes to read books, and she's normally just sitting there reading with a tiny
She
little
likes
book.
to read romance books.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, and I'm like,
But her main role, she's been at the library for quite some time, but her main role is to reorganize the books back to the shelves they came from.
She doesn't do it very
So she
good.
picks up after me.
Not
She
really.
picks up after everybody, and yes, she is not very good at it.
Okay.
Did you see my other message?
I did.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay.
So where is Yuelia going now?
I'm gonna find Breya. So, looking around.
So as you wander around, it doesn't take that long to find her. You kind of see Breya at the desk that Drafia usually sits at. And Breya, you don't seem to see Drafia anywhere.
There you are.
If I look around, is there anyone watching me right now?
Me.
Yuelia.
Like, other than Yuelia? Any librarians?
Yuelia.
No.
Yuelia's a
are-
librarian.
Can
There
I
are.
peek?
Sorry, there are assistants, also helping out putting away books and whatnot.
Okay, can I go up to an assistant?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go up and clear my throat and say, like, excuse me, do you know where Drafia is?
The young gentleman stops what he's doing and he goes, "Oh, Breya the Elite!"
He has your action figure.
He wipes his hands on his robe and he extends one as like a greeting.
I shake it happily, like a firm handshake.
Oh, this is such a great day. I can't wait to tell everybody I shook hands with Breya.
Hey.
Oh, my apologies, but no, Breya hasn't come to work in like the last 3 days.
Drafia, but I get it. Oh.
Hi, Jenny. I love you.
Hi,
Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
That's
Correction,
a bit
we
unusual
love
for
you.
We
Drafia,
love you,
correct?
Jenny.
You guys too.
Yay. And I'm concerned about Drafia.
Yeah, Breya will look and say, that's a little unusual for Drafia, correct?
That is extremely unusual for Drafia.
Well,
You guys.
check her quarters where
Hey.
she lives?
Hey.
Okay.
We tried, but she wasn't there.
Come here. Come
The
on.
last time
Come
that
here.
anybody seen her, she was putting
Hey.
away books here.
Zeus, come here. Come here. Zeus.
Breya will like look over
Zeus!
her shoulder
Hey.
towards like some of the
Come
shelves
here.
and frown a bit.
Come here.
That's odd.
Come here.
Well,
You sit down.
I
Sit.
think I'll investigate
Sit.
a little bit about that because I need
You
her
lay
help.
down.
So I'm gonna go off of the investigation check you already did.
Hey.
Yuelia, are you just gonna follow Bray around?
Yeah.
Hey. No.
When you catch up, I'm gonna be like, oh hey, sorry, I had a
No.
sudden thought that I needed to
Uh,
investigate.
Okay, sure. What's going on?
Well, I thought to come check where Bellhaven normally studies, and just to check if he'd left a message anywhere. And then I thought I'd ask Drafia if he left a message at the desk. But Drafia's not here, and no one's seen Drafia in 3 days, and that's really unusual, and also
Yeah,
she's
that's
not
not like
home.
her.
So now I'm thinking we should try to figure out if she's okay. It's weird.
So,
She's not buried under a mountain of books again.
well,
No!
as you, damn it, Mikey.
Did I just ruin it?
Oh, you didn't ruin it.
That's
But,
hilarious. As you
That is
say
very
that, you
funny.
turn the corner.
But because you say that, it's one of those things where you see a giant pile of books, and it's like, huh, that...
Did we just kind of look at each other and then look at the books?
You guys are just walking around, and then Yuelia kind of catches the pile. Like, that pile is never there. Like, we never have a pile of books there.
And there's usually somebody cleaning up.
Drafia.
Yeah, Drafia.
Drafia. Yeah.
Are you gonna...
For the love of the
Yeah, we're
gods,
gonna go
save
over it.
her!
You mentioned she's been buried in books before, right?
Yeah.
As you get closer to the pile of books, you can hear just very, very softly, "Help."
Oh, no!
Breya's gonna kind of jump to
Oh.
helping and be like, oh no!
Is anybody there?
Yes, I'm here, I'll help you!
I can just imagine, like, Bray is just launching the books, and Yuelia's like, "No, don't throw the books!"
They're suffocating her!
So
It's been 3 days, I'm sure she's fine.
it doesn't take that long, but it does take a good 5 minutes to get the book pile off, and you can see that she's probably been in there for quite some time.
Oh, no! I'm not
Breya
even
will
there to
look
offer
at a nearby
cookies.
assistant and say, why?
No one's bothered to check?
Why has
No.
no one bothered to look at this pile?
There's 4 assistants within eye range, and they're all kind of looking at each other like, it's that look of, like, I didn't do it. That's not my fault. But at the same time, are you gonna say something? I'm not gonna.
I'm just gonna glare at them.
I'm gonna shake my head and sigh, and then gently help her out of books.
She goes, and she's kind of quivering. She goes, I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, go do that, and let's get you some food.
So
I'm sure you haven't eaten either.
So
I'm gonna look for bite marks in the books.
I'm going to fast forward time just a tiny bit. So she's relieved. She gets some food and some drink, and she seems to be calming down. She goes, oh, thank you so much.
So how did this happen this time?
Well, I was putting the books away like I normally do, and I got kind of engrossed in one, and then this masked gentleman appeared out of nowhere, and I panicked, hit the bookshelf, and all the books came tumbling down on me.
Oh.
I'll look up and just glare at the air, assuming he's there somewhere.
I love it.
You're really lucky I had a thought to come over here. 'Cause I don't know how long you would have gone in there otherwise.
I was beginning to lose hope.
Oh no!
I know I may not have been the nicest assistant librarian, but thank you both.
No,
I promise to never shush you ever again.
Oh.
That doesn't make you mean. I'll kind of brush her off a little bit. You good as new.
It's just interesting because she's a very large lady, but when she sips her tea that she has now, not a single sound is made.
Wow. Listen, I was actually looking for you because I wanted to ask you if maybe Bellhaven had left a note for us.
Bellhaven?
Yeah,
we were looking for... That was one of the things that people were talking about, is that they were looking for him. But no one knew. I've been asked more times than I can count. But he didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell any of us anything. Apparently he didn't tell anyone anything.
That doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Not that for all 3 of you, Bellhaven's proteges, Bellhaven is very much known for not following the rules or just not giving a shit about the rules. But he generally doesn't do things that are irresponsible, so to speak. Like, if he decides to ignore a rule, he usually has a really, really good reason or logic behind it.
Aye, that's a stupid rule.
I'll look at her and ask, Drafia, would you know Bellhaven's penmanship if you saw it?
There we go. Maybe?
She'll take out that symbol she found and say, do you think he drew this?
She kind of recoils and spills her drink a little bit. What on earth are you doing with that?
You know what it is.
Yes.
What is it?
The symbol of the Elder Elemental Eye. That's a cultist symbol.
I look at Yuelia and I'm like, a clue. I found this here where Bellhaven normally studies.
A clue, yeah, I was just talking to her.
Yes.
Could you tell us what you know about this cult?
Save for the fact that they're pretty much wiped out. I mean, that cult hasn't existed since pretty much all the gods have gone silent.
Well,
Mm,
I
pretty
think
much.
Belhaven drew this, and I have some other knowledge about it too. That I think maybe Belhaven thought they were resurrecting and
Well,
becoming
that
prominent again.
isn't drawn. Look. And she takes her thumb and she kind of smears it a little bit. It's like soot. It's like that's what that was burned on. How do you? And this is the first thing that probably goes through Breya's brain is how do you apply a burn mark to a piece of paper without igniting it on fire?
Charcoal?
No, like it's burnt. Like you can.
She tried to smudge it and it didn't move, so it's definitely not charcoal.
She looks at it a little. I don't know, but I have a feeling that Belhaven's mixed up in this. I don't think it's a coincidence that I found this mark close to where he studies and that he's missing and no one knows where he is. And that this isn't the first time we've seen this symbol.
I'm not the adventuring type, but Yuelia, you know who to talk to when these kind of things come up. I mean, if need be, you guys are elites. You guys can even talk to the king. But Headmaster Adrian is usually what people would do, or who they would go to.
I look at Yuelia and I say, we have to be careful about this.
Yeah, this isn't...
Do you remember... I'm sure Belhaven filled you in on the court information and what happened there, yes?
No.
Well... She'll look at out a game of Straphinia, right?
Hmm?
Her name, is it Draphinia?
I think it's Drafia.
Drafia. Okay, she'll look at her and say, thank you, Drafia. We might be back. And then she'll kind of like pull Yuelia along to a more secluded corner.
Breya.
Poor Yuelia.
Guy says that it's not a burn. They were out of TP and they were just kind of wiping their hands.
Oh no.
Okay, thank you, Guy. So I'll take us to somewhere like more secluded where there are less people. Like less assistants and stuff. And I'll say, we had to attend a court case some months ago to essentially validate Shrike as a non-threat and to validate the measures we had to take.
Right.
Did you hear what happened in the courtroom?
No.
Members of the cult slaughtered the judges.
Most of them, anyway.
Most of them. This cult is not dead. It's very much alive. In fact, they burned this symbol, or at least a symbol close to it, in my hand. And Belhaven had to do everything he could to get it off my hand, and it really took it out of him.
Wait, let me see it. I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, I'll show him the paper.
It looks very familiar, Yuelia.
Is it the backward swirl?
No.
Yeah. Symbol of Tharazdun.
I had it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Tharazdun.
You did have it too. That's why it looks very
You had
familiar.
it on your hand?
Yeah.
Me too.
Did you? Right before I got blessed by I can't remember his name. Shit.
Deeproot?
Deeproot. Thank you.
Did you meet someone called Abaddon?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was my meeting with those people that put that mark on my hand.
That's such an ironic question.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know, the player of him.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Do you know where yours might have come from?
I do. I'm ashamed of it, but actually,
Brothel.
It was in front of your house.
In front of my house?
In front of your house, there was a marking with it looked different. In fact, these markings were everywhere in the village. Just nothing was odd about them aside from the markings themselves. But the one in front of your house, it was a different color and it was like lighting up. So
therefore, I touched it because it was glowing.
And I really shouldn't have, but I did.
That was a very
Smart.
anti-Gloria.
Curiosity is a powerful
That was a very
motivator, so
anti-Yuelia
I
sort
don't
of thing.
actually find it embarrassing. If I think back to Midway Burrows, do I remember seeing that symbol anywhere?
No.
I look very concerned. Hold on, Mom. Thank you. Bye. Sorry,
Bye.
my mom's telling my supper stuff.
Hi, Mom. Thank you.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab that.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think this is what Bellhaven got mixed into. I think he's onto something, and he went to investigate, and he didn't tell anyone because he can't trust anyone.
That
Maybe.
sounds reasonable.
That's true. We can't be trusted.
So, since she's gonna go and get food, I'm gonna go and switch to the other group. So you guys are just kind of, I guess you could say, moving through the back alleyways and whatnot.
Wait, we are? Why are we? Oh, are you talking about us?
Yep.
We were hiding from Lilith, and then we just split.
Oh, you were hiding from Lydia?
Well, Lydia, sorry. No, well, kinda. Because the guards were there, and we're like, let's slip away. Oh, no. Secrets. We were going to buy leather and a spyglass.
So
you know what? It's not. No, it's yeah. You can.
So where are we now?
Sorry, I'm talking to Guy.
You're not very familiar with this part of the city, so I mean, you're not like completely lost, but you're very unfamiliar with this area, and it's just kind of alleyways in between the big buildings of the higher end of Valona.
We creeping.
But it actually doesn't take that much effort to catch back up to them, Lydia.
Alright.
But we will dance. No, so sneaky. So sneaky. Sneaky snake. I'm a snake.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I think it's heat stroke. Anyways.
Okay.
Right, so we were gonna buy that stuff, and then what else? I think that was all we were gonna do, because we got our information.
Well, if you want a spyglass,
I want a spyglass, and then we needed leather to work
that's gonna run you about 3,000 gold pieces.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Spyglass or leather?
The spyglass.
Okay.
Well, fuck that. I'm taking Crusix's. Okay.
Taking his.
Yeah. Okay. So then,
All right.
just leather for.
Oh man, can't you just borrow it?
Sure, I guess.
Can't you just borrow?
Yes, I'm going to just borrow it. Okay, I'm not
Indefinitely.
Indefinitely, unless I forget.
Look,
I
had to fight back at least 12 really drunken and possibly honorary men for that spyglass.
You know what? That sounds fair. So.
No, not really.
No, not really.
I don't know. It sounds
Well,
pretty.
honest
It sounds
man,
pretty
I believe him.
legit. Yeah. We'll just borrow yours. We gotta keep an eye out. Okay, so then just the leather stuff, enough for a few tries for.
So how much leather are you procuring?
Well, because Dorval.
Oh, you're doing it just for the.
Yeah, he wanted to turn the book into a bracer. So strap here, and then.
Leather armor's average pricing is 11 gold pieces. So I would say just straps would probably be much less than that. So I would say, given inflation, because they have to make a profit, 50 silver.
I will pay that.
Because you're not really doing anything fancy with it either. They're just straps.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll pay that. And then I'll give Dorval the leather straps because he said he wanted to work on it with Yuelia.
But just to let you know, just as a FYI, I know I still need to hammer them out.
Yeah, you do.
But
I need my sword, damn it! You still got my sword.
until it's attuned, you actually get no benefit from using it.
Yep. No benefit. I don't have a sword that's special because you're still working on that other sword we got.
The
And
scimitar should be finished. I think that's
you
the other
didn't give us a list or put them anywhere.
one. I kept the list.
You didn't give us the list, and it's still in your to-do list of finish shit because I am shit. Right there.
Wow.
Well then.
You know what? You worded it that way, mister.
Actually, no, he said because he's a bum, not because he's
He's a
shit.
Because I'm a
bum.
boss.
I'm a
But
bum.
I do have this list here
Oh
of
yeah,
items.
to-do list. It does say bum. I'm sorry.
But I think I'm pretty sure I made the scimitar of embers. If not,
You didn't send us the list, so we didn't divvy it.
here is the list.
Okay, so then we'll divvy it.
What's happening? What?
The loot we got last time he was working on, so we didn't divvy it. We didn't divide it up amongst ourselves.
The money or
The loot,
the loot? Oh, there was
the
loot?
stuff,
I don't remember.
items, because there was a scimitar that I could use because Ruff isn't working because he's half melted.
Alright.
So,
That's fair.
yeah,
Gotta
so
take
I
him to a
called
blacksmith.
dibs on. I tried the blacksmith. It doesn't work. Okay.
We need a dwarf.
We need
a dwarf.
no.
Oh, yeah,
we need an
right.
elf.
We're gonna need a dwarf and we're gonna need an elf. I need both.
You're gonna need a mastersmith dwarf and a master enchanter elf, not just any dwarf or any elf. But who's to say? Maybe you'll find somebody that knows those techniques that isn't one of those races. So technically, you just need a master smith and a master enchanter.
People that we have in our party.
Okay, there. So we'll figure that out. So
Mine, since yours is up now.
so just call dibs if you want something. So what else were we were gonna start because we got our information and
What information did we get about the terrorists?
oh god, how long have you been there?
Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you were just gonna leave me
Mirra is
behind?
terrorized, but Crusix is just like, oh.
But we were being so sneaky.
For what?
For why though?
And definitely you weren't. I'm sorry. You kind
Your
of stand
armor is
out.
very loud.
You kind of stand out in the crowd, Mirra.
Oh, I forgot to do one thing.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. So we learned that the sky terrorists are actually like part of the Empire, and they're just like being meanies, big old meanies, because they want to mess us up and like mess up our supplies and stuff for Valona. So they're just being big old meanies, but that also means that they're Empire and they're more than like likely to like fight us if we try and like do something about it. So it's a little bit concerning. Yeah, so now we at least know what we're dealing with, but we don't know where they are yet. So
He's still in the car.
you're still in the car. Hello.
Hello.
So we at least learned that. We don't know like where it is, but we know that they're going after like.
Why did I forget? Of course, freaking Dorval's with you too.
Yep.
Dorval is with us. Yes.
Oh, they're softening.
Dorval. It was Dorval, me, and Crusix. And Lydia was creeping. Because she's a creeper.
I'm always a creeper.
Creeper. Yeah, so we found out some information.
Now what are you guys gonna
so they're
do?
not pirates.
Well, that's interesting because if it is the Empire trying to soften us up before, I don't know, whatever conflict is going to happen, seems inevitable now.
Well, yeah, they're already like attacking us.
Do we just make sure that things are set in place to stop that, make sure it's more well known.
I mean,
I don't know how to fight that, honestly.
if we like find out what they're gonna go after next, we can like watch it and like catch them off guard and unawares.
I guess you're right. If we can find out if there's any major supply
Otherwise, we
ships
can just
leaving,
use the winged maiden for like a
true.
decoy. But you're
I
all
don't like
like,
that
oh,
idea.
I don't like, I don't like
Yeah.
that idea. Um,
Look, would you take your child and throw him in a battlefield just to lure out enemies?
I don't have any children. Well, I guess I did poop an egg.
Oh, speaking of, where'd that go? And
It's safe next to rest. Shrike is watching them.
oh, it's still in the ship.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So if we figure out if any big supply runs are coming in to Valona, that's kind of what they hit. So we can look at those. And what I thought was, because I mean, yeah, it's the Empire and they got like a lot of money to do stuff, but how much money do you think they're going to keep throwing at this? So if we just like do that a few times, where we like take their little rowy boat flying machines, and we keep taking them, I'm not gonna have more children just to throw them out on the battlefield. Jesus, guy, so rude. Anyways, um, right. What was I talking about?
We're
Oh wait,
talking about
no.
taking
Okay,
over their
so
rowboats, their ships.
yes, we take their rowboats. Mirra's just very. There's just so much going on.
You guys are poking in the ring.
In the rain, yeah.
Ew! I keep poking Dorval to poof me.
What time of day is it? Has most of the day gone by? Is it towards the
It's hard to
evening?
tell with this much
Oh,
heavy
the rain.
rain. The only thing you can tell is that it's daylight because you can still see.
Got you.
So we keep like secretly guarding the supplies that are coming in, and then when these sky terrorist slash empire people like are attacking them, then we defeat them and take their rowboats. And then they'll run out of rowboats, and then they'll be like, "What the heck?" And then they might buy more rowboats, but then we just keep doing that, and then they're just not going to send any more rowboats because they're like, "You guys, rowboats are pretty pricey, so let's just not do that." And
I say,
yeah,
if we really want to nip it in the butt, we partner with what's his name at the docks. What's that captain's name? You gave him a basket. You gave him a cookie.
he did like me.
Ah,
Reginald, Reftalia, Rigatoni.
That's a noodle.
Are you talking about Commander Ryder?
That's
Ryder,
the one.
that's his
Thank
name.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ryder.
Because he
Boy,
said the
Ryder.
docks, and I was like, you haven't run into anybody at the docks.
Oh, wrong docks. Yeah, my
You
bad.
Wrong
mean
docks.
The airport.
Sky docks.
Airport.
Airport.
Yes, the
Yeah,
airport.
I
But
mean-
the
Commander
only
Ryder.
thing that happened at the docks was Aurora threw a fish merchant into the water.
Okay, well, I say we can partner with Commander Ryder and try to fight whatever thing is happening.
Guy, what the heck? Guy said, "There's so much rain, a line of animal couples is lining up at a big boat outside of town."
Oh my god.
We're not getting on the ark, okay? It's not gonna be. Actually, it's probably gonna be 40 days of rain and night. Okay. I mean, we could talk with. He'd probably know what like sky ships are coming in, for supplies at least. So
Yeah. So you think that's the next step?
if we want to
Alright.
do that right away. Otherwise,
Well, I mean-
there's still the island with the bust that we gotta look for. But I think on the Winged Maiden it would take a while. But last time we flew on the birds, and the birds are faster because we got there within like one day. Much
They
faster.
require food and rest, but they move a lot faster.
Mhm.
So we could
And
just.
what was the time frame for the hero tournament, hero arena?
You guys haven't looked into it, so you don't know the exact date.
Crap.
Interesting.
Do we need to go look that up?
That piques my interest, honestly. But Tailspire.
I didn't
Piques
boot
my
it up for any particular reason.
I think
just
you're lying.
had
I think you booted it up to look at the sci-fi shit.
No, I just in case something happens, I have my boards ready. But currently, no.
Did you get the
Where did
Hero
you
Forge?
first hear about it? Oh, sorry.
What's that?
I was gonna ask Mirra where we first heard about the tournament, Hero Arena tournament.
Someone sent me a letter from school.
Okay.
And they were like, hey, I remember this tournament thingy's coming up, and we know you guys are, like, away, but, like, were you gonna, like, come and, like, do it? And I'm like, well, I guess everyone's, like, super excited about it, so sure. And it didn't really say a date or anything, so I just kind of agreed and didn't really figure out logistics.
Got you. All right.
Sorry.
You're fine. I guess we can go figure that out. I'm trying to think of where to
But
start.
do we even want to do that, though? Because only us can compete, and then the others won't be able to do nothing.
Be right back. Leaving call. I'm home.
Yay!
Hey, you made it safely.
So
Okay.
try not to miss me too much.
Oh no! Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
Oh. I mean, I guess I can do other stuff while we're doing that, but we should probably figure out like when, like how soon that is.
I mean, we don't even know for sure that they can't participate. We haven't gotten any more information on it.
It's full of alone and elites.
We're the elites.
No, we're the valedictorians.
You are elites. The valedictorians are elites.
Oh. He did not hit any decoy kids on the way home. Pretty sure we would have noticed that. Thank you, guy. Graduates. That's the word. Graduates? Thought it was only for graduates. Because Shrike was talking about how he couldn't do it, and now we got more people. I mean, we can at least figure out when it is, but then do we want to... We can talk with Riker, Ryder... Writer.
Just remember, right or left.
Right or left. Where'd he go?
Ryder.
So what are you guys doing?
Yes, I've seen those. Those are terrifying. Sorry. So we need to go somewhere so we can check when that is, and
I'm just gonna say the terrorists are more of a immediate threat.
That's true.
And let's see the best.
So I guess
let's see the best way to help.
Yeah. So then I guess talk with Ryder, and see.
Oh my god.
Right or left, and see when some like supplies are coming in, and then we can go out and like creep on them from a distance and.
Or we could just be straight up and see if we can plan with him. Offer our assistance. I wouldn't want my ship to be blown up. Our ship. My bad. And I'll start heading to the airport.
You okay, Breya? Or
Yep.
Kachina?
Yes, indeed.
Inhale their food. Is like depending on where we are in the town, is there some place that I could like stop and like figure out when the tournament is?
Yeah. But
can we swing by there first?
Okay.
Swing by,
turning around.
I'll have to look at my notes.
That's fine. I just want it to be in our notes.
Right.
For later.
So you guys are heading back to the airship docks.
Yes, airport.
Yes.
The port of the airship's airship port.
Well, nothing of particular note happens for you guys, so I'm going to go back over to our other friends, Yuelia and Kachina.
We are not being productive.
Breya.
I mean, there's so much to do.
There is so much to
Hello.
do. Hello.
Decision paralysis.
That's why we were supposed to talk about it ahead of time, and we figured that we gotta chop the wood,
I'm
and we
sorry, a
gotta
lot of those things we would
do
want everyone here
pirates.
for. So we gotta wait for the librarians to come back.
Well, I'm gonna look at Yuelia and say we need to get back and tell everyone right away. I don't think that Bellhaven should be trying to deal with the cult by himself.
He didn't go by himself. He's got a whole ship.
I agree.
You say this about a dwarf that summons giant magical hands to make things into hamburger.
Flying by
I
himself.
mean, I'm at least convinced that he'll be okay. He's not dumb, but I do have my concerns. But at the same time, we also have a lot going on here too. So we should talk to the group and figure out our next move.
Breya will fold up the paper and put it back in her jacket. And then as they go out of the library, she will put her cloak back on, pull up her hood.
You're a very, very nice cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you put it in your other possessions as a fancy cloak or high quality cloak, whatever you
I
want.
think I put it as rainproof cloak.
It's probably more going to be weatherproof cloak. Because it works in snow, rain, even sand.
Pedi, don't you have? Didn't we get? You have.
You got a cloak, but
A
not
cloak.
a fancy one.
What's that rod of
it's-
purification?
You got a cloak thingy that helps you with like the cold.
I got a ring that helps me with the cold.
Oh.
It's called the Ring of Warmth.
Ah. Okay.
And then we went into an underground volcano.
That was hot. It was so hot. Let's not do it. Let's not do it again.
Yeah.
I named it Fancy Weatherproof Cloak.
But let's see. So is there where is Breya and Yuelia gonna attempt to meet back with everybody?
We're heading to the ship.
Wherever we're
Well, they're going to. So you guys are into the ship.
If we're all staying on the airship, we'd go to the airship.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but we
just
don't. But we
asking
don't
where
know
you're
that.
going.
Yeah.
I don't. But we don't know that.
So
Wherever we're staying is where Breya would go.
Yuelia and Breya actually make it back to the ship first.
Can I say on the way I got a turkey leg from a street vendor?
Sure.
Nice. How much would it cost me?
Surprisingly enough, given your fame and status, they're more than happy to share it with you for free.
Oh my god, awesome.
Oh,
Just make sure you tell everybody how awesome their turkey legs are.
I will literally be walking down the road telling everyone to go get turkey legs from this place because they are awesome.
Awesome.
I would like to, since we were at the library and all that, I would to stock up on a few supplies to make scrolls, if they're willing to hand them out. If Clue was willing to give them to me, I guess.
Oh, you wanted to see if you could get scroll material?
Yeah.
Yep. She is willing to, what's the word? Sponsor your practice.
Mm-hmm.
So she gives you. Let's let the dice decide.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go to Yuelia. I'm gonna take your dice and use it. Bam, 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 bam. Is that 8?
So I think we determined like the parchment is like 1 for 1, and then the ink is what's on a value.
Yes. She gives you 20 of the magical parchment, but she gives you. She gives you 2,400 gold worth of magical ink. Don't say that Clue never cared about you.
I lied. My regular scimitar does more damage than this shit. How? How is that possible?
Hey, I sent you a message, Josh.
Okay. Oh my goodness, so many messages.
The blessed
Not that
rod
I'm
of
complaining.
purification isn't in here.
Not that I'm complaining. Let's see.
Or unless it's the high priest's rod of purifying.
Oh, I haven't finished that one.
Okay. Just let me know.
Let's see. If you wanted to do that, okay. But we will say that all these things.
I just want to stop and grab a healer's kit as well on our way.
Okay, feel free to subtract. Let's see, what is a healer's kit?
D&D Beyond.
D&D.
It is 5, which inflation for profit would make it 15 because times 3. But people are usually willing to give you a discount, so I'd say it's 10 gold pieces.
Pick up 2 of them then. So 20.
Did you use up that one I gave you?
No. But because I use it to also heal people with my healer feat, I want to be on top of it.
We need to make sure we have one always on the ship.
Yep,
And
that was the
then
idea.
another-
Replenish the one on the ship and
Yeah.
yada yada yada. Because I think anyone can use the healer's kit to try and stabilize people.
Mhm.
So, but I use it to also heal people with my
Mhm.
feet. So, best to keep
Heal
that on.
people with your feet.
Yes, that's a he heals people
Ew.
with both feet.
Ew.
But
Okay, so we start.
eventually, everybody does make it back to the airship.
Hold on, I just want to finish working this out before we move on.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh shit! There
Oh.
probably should have been a whole ass interaction. I completely forgot about the sloth.
Oh no, the sloth.
There's a sloth.
Oh yeah,
There
there's a sloth.
is.
Oh,
I'm still trying to figure out about the drider nonsense, and now there's a sloth. There's so many exotic things to keep track of.
I have an egg.
Yeah,
yeah, believe me, I know.
pooped it with magic.
I have.
Josh,
I
you
gotta
only gave
find
me a
it.
pet raven. You didn't tell me sloths were available.
You could.
This isn't a normal sloth.
This is not a normal.
Although
sloth.
I don't think a sloth would make a very good scout on a ship.
You know what? They're good at
You
staying in
know,
one
you
place
just never
and good at.
know.
You know, I guess
Hanging-
if they got up there and they could stay up there, but like by the time they relay information to you, you're already half sunk.
You know what? That's rude. Okay.
I can just imagine.
You're being speciesist against sloths. Okay. They
Tell
can
me
do.
about their sloth.
Here you go, Paul. I'll put it in our character chat. Is that gonna work? No, I gotta bring it up again. There we go.
Yeah, he's a cute little guy. He's a very good cuddler.
But also he tends to randomly poof in and out of existence.
He does what he wants.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And
I am so
he does.
sorry if you talk to me. I had to run to the oven real quick.
Oh, no, you're fine. I put the sloth in the character chat, and he will randomly poof in and out of existence.
Who does the sloth belong to?
Currently me.
Technically,
Okay,
Yuelia.
perfect. What's
But
the
belong
sloth?
is a strong word, but yeah.
Yeah, belong is a strong word.
Well,
He's
but
a
it's more
ship
like I'm
pet.
just-
Pet is it?
I'm
Whose
looking
friend
over it,
is
but I have not named it.
Okay.
He's the
It's
It's
ship
more like
pet.
I don't want to get attached
Because
Okay.
I
we're
feel
taking
like
him back
it's-
to his home.
I feel like I need to do something about that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fully get attached, but
Okay, well, good luck. So when you're buying your healing kits, Breya's gonna disappear for a moment.
okay, cool. Again,
Hey, Breya, look at this.
Yeah,
Blink,
what is
blink, blink.
what is
Dang
with
it!
her?
By the time you're done, she comes
Breya
back.
has a-
though.
Breya
And-
has a new
What is
character.
with you and disappearing?
Hold on. What colors does your character wear for clothing? Like
Me? Blue.
Yeah. you,
Blue.
blue. And what color are LV's like wings?
They're a light, like a sky blue that go into a black.
Periwinkle.
Okay, perfect. So Breya's gonna hold up 2 blue cloaks, one very small for LV, and one your size, and say, "Sorry, they took a while. I had your name stitched into them."
Oh,
And then she holds them out for you.
That's so cute.
thank you.
Those are fancy
Aw.
weatherproof cloaks.
She holds up a third one that's also blue and says Mr. Sloth on the inside and says, "I'll give this to the sloth when we get back to the airship."
I mean, he's probably on my back.
Is he on your back?
Should be,
Then
Probably.
give it to the
Unless
sloth right
he-
then.
Unless you chose to,
unless he chose to get
Hmm.
out of the rain. He's probably on my back.
and
So I
it's
will
very
leave that up to
likely once you guys started walking in the rain, it pooped.
Okay.
So he's probably somewhere dry and eating because he does poof whenever he wants to eat, and then he'll just come back.
Breya will kind of like be like, "Mr. Sloth,
We'll-
are you here?"
You'll
Come
probably
back for your
reappear
poof.
when you'll probably reappear when we get to somewhere dry. I don't think he likes the weather, but thank you.
Come back for your poncho.
Oh.
Damn it, there is something else I want to check while I'm here, but anyway, that's fine.
All you people,
Since we get back before everyone, I'll set up the rest of the cloaks like on a table.
Why would you
inside.
get back before everyone? You were gone for a hell of a long time. Okay.
We were
You
told to
guys-
come back first.
you guys are actually much farther away than they were from the airport.
You
And
were?
the only
Yes.
cloak that Breya picked a very specific color for was she got like a petal pink one for Mirra. Everyone else can choose their own colors. I don't care. But Breya got every person a cloak.
Oh,
weatherproof.
And they're very, very nice. And while your little pivot, for as long as they last, and you're wearing them, you suffer no ill effects from moderate elements. So rain,
Breya.
snow, sandstorm, high winds, none of it will cause exhaustion.
Sweet.
That
I'm
wasn't
putting that in
cheap.
my shit.
It wasn't, but I wanted to do it. Breya's very generous.
Yuelia, did I give you my 2 empty potion bottles, or I think you said you already had a bunch?
I can make my own, but
Okay.
yes,
Do you want my 2 empty potion bottles? I think I gave them to you.
sure.
We
I'll
were
take
making
them.
moss shit. Okay. Sorry, I was putting my cloak in there, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think I have that anymore.
I just picture Mirra getting on the ship and seeing that pink and being like, "What is that?"
What is that? Like I do the cat thing. Because I got cat eyes now, and it goes.
Well, they get They get thin when they're excited or happy. They get big when they're scared or
No,
hunting.
cats get their eyes get like really big before they pounce,
Yeah, when
like for
they're
playing and
when
shit.
they're scared or when they're hunting.
Oh.
She went into hunting mode for a second. Pink's
But
just
they
bring
get-
that out in her.
If they get happy or comfortable, they get thin.
Oh. You can tell I don't have a cat.
Okay, so off we go to the ship.
Yes.
So everybody should be at the ship at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody is now at the ship at this point.
Okay.
Breya will just say
Well.
it's been raining very hard today, and we were all doing hard work, so these are for everyone.
Aw, thank you, Breya.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh,
I
thank you!
look around for Crusix.
Oh, there's one for Crusix too.
Is he here?
And she'll find the sloth and put
Well,
the sloth
Crusix is,
clothes
I don't
on
know
him.
what Paul is.
Mm-hmm. Waiting.
Paul!
It's fine.
Yo,
I just
Paul!
wanted to... Okay, so Crusix is there. I just wanted to see whether or not he got blasted to oblivion because he tried something sneaky.
Okay.
Mr.
So,
Sloth has cloak now. He with us?
You
I don't
know, I responded and my mic was muted, so
I
Good.
know!
I'm right here. How you doing?
Hello! Found the
Oh, good.
ship!
I see you're okay. That means you didn't do anything stupid.
Hey!
No, of course not.
It was good.
Besides, there was too many witnesses to do anything fun or stupid anyway.
Hey!
That
We don't do bad things here, okay? None of that. Mm-mm. You lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Mirra, weren't you the one who killed that lady?
Alright, I'll lay down. I'll be right back there.
That was an
I
accident!
got in trouble and I didn't do anything.
Ah!
Just like at home.
You can't.
Yeah.
Although
that's
when I get in
unfortunate.
trouble here,
What?
99% of the time
What?
I've deserved it.
Can I help you?
so what's next, my
Lay
friend?
down. Guys,
Alright.
guys,
Alright, guys.
guys.
Hi,
Hey,
hi,
hi.
yes, yes.
okay. So we got. Oh right. So the
Hey, Lydia, what happened?
So, anyways, they, after leaving the tavern,
No,
met
go
up
ahead,
with
Mirra,
one
go
of
ahead.
Dorval's
Good.
contacts.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm just going to go from there.
go ahead, Mirra. You can finish.
No, I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
Anyways.
Okay, so like the sky pirates, terrorists, the sky terrorists, you guys. So you know how like the Empire has like been fighting Valona?
Right.
Yeah. So the sky terrorists are actually Imperials that are just like messing up our supplies and stuff.
Make a spot, lay down.
So they're just trying to bring down ships. They're not.
Yeah, because they're not like everyone thought it was like weird because they're not pirates because they're not like stealing anything. Okay, they're just like sabotaging and sinking, and that's why they were called like the terrorists instead of the pirates because they're not like taking anything. So they're just like messing up Valona supplies, and so it turns out it's actually the Empire that's doing it and just messing up Valona supplies for the war.
Okay, so
That's incredibly insightful for Mirra, just for the record. Like,
Are-
head pats might be in order.
Are we all... Is everyone back together in front of the airship at the
Yes.
moment?
everyone is
Airship.
in the airship.
Okay,
You can't look out the window.
as we enter the airship, Crusix speaks up and says, "You know, here's a question I've been wondering. This rain's so thick, I don't think this is natural for you guys, is it? You all get rain, but never this bad. Those terrorists must have some kind of way to navigate through this horrible weather, cause I believe they attacked during and before this horrible rainstorm."
So, Yuelia, nature check.
Okay.
Anybody else probably would be a survival check if you want to participate.
Oh, nature check. Where did my character go?
No, your Crusix is fine. This is just for everybody else.
Oh, okay, I got you.
14.
13 and 14.
So, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But-
right.
I rolled a 7.
All of you
Following the leader.
all of you kind of simultaneously, like when Crusix brings that up, it's like, like Valona has rain. Like it rains often. Like this place is no stranger to rain.
Mhm.
But not only has this been a little bit more over the top, like the rain has been harder. This is the longest it's ever lasted, and Valona's rain usually comes in bursts. This has been just like one long slug, and yeah, that is kind of odd. That's not like Valona at all.
Okay, I'm gonna have Elvie use her Druidcraft to predict the weather for the next 24 hours.
Rain.
Rain, like, okay, I guess it really doesn't.
She holds up her hand
Oh
and
my
a miniature
gosh, you
cloud appears above her
guys!
head and just rains on her.
I mean,
You
you're not
guys-
wrong, because that's exactly what it is.
Right, and that's exactly what happens. But when she informs you, it's like it's rain nonstop.
She puts up her hood first.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Mirra?
Okay. Okay. So what if? Hear me out. What
Uh-huh.
if?
She's on a roll.
Thinking hurts. What if
That's the third.
they
Psychic damage.
Do I
Like,
have to
we
detect
can't-
thoughts?
like we can't find the terrorists? What if they're in the middle of the giant storm cluster?
I mean, that's a very good question, or a very
Because
good
then they're
thought.
causing it, like, and then they're also right there, so that's how they're easily like because they're sending these little rowboats. They can't go very far, so they have to be at a central
Ship.
location. Rowboat, not a big ship.
They have a mothership.
The mothership, yes. So they got a
We have
base.
to have a mothership.
They got like a base,
That isn't
and
necessarily an
they got like wizards or sorcerers or something
I mean,
up there.
they have to.
Well,
so
our
they-
airship looks like a cloud from the bottom. Who says they can't have one that has a storm around it all the time?
Well, the biggest thing to be aware of is that your cloud is always a white cloud.
yeah.
So during rainy weather, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
That's probably
It's
how
like
they
this
saw us.
random- It's like this random white cloud with a bunch of gray-black clouds.
That's probably how
But
they
what
found
if
Okay,
us.
around their
so-
ship they have a storm?
Okay, so
Or they just have like wizards like
Do
making
we-
the storm all the time around their ship, and they got like a bunch of them. Someone one dude gets tired and he goes take a nap time. Then another one
I
just
know-
comes and it's like woo, and then there's
I know Lydia doesn't want to just throw our ship out for bait, but do we just want to pass through the storm, and see if we find anything? I'm not saying.
Can the
We
ship
could
handle it?
try, but I would
What do you-
rather do that with backup.
I can drive it.
Somebody.
No,
I'd say we
actually, you
talk to the
can't.
Mega Rider.
Actually,
Actually,
no one
Not
else
about
can drive
driving
it.
Can the ship actually handle that?
Well, Lydia commands the ship, but anybody can drive it.
Okay,
Lydia just has to give that command.
Drive it.
so you two can take
Drive it?
shifts.
Basically, more or
Not
less,
you, Mirra.
Lydia is the captain, so if Lydia tells the boat to let somebody drive, it can let somebody drive it. She tells it to let it hoist the sails or what it like. The ship literally follows Lydia's command.
Well, what
Then
if we
you
go
first
above the
mate-
storm and just like check out the eye of the storm and be like, hey, what's that?
Okay, so then yeah, I mean,
I'll-
so yes, you two are good. If you two can navigate and can, you two can shift on, who's sailing and all that. But I don't know. I think it's worth a try. But
But I think we should make sure the ship can handle it. We don't
Handle
want
the
our
weather?
ship to be torn apart.
Yeah.
Going through storm clouds and being struck by lightning and other things.
So yeah,
Okay.
two things to note is one, your ship is not indestructible. It's durable because it's magical, but it is not indestructible. And two, you guys, your characters at least, do not forget that there's a very, very dangerous giant bird flying around also.
that is also true.
What-
That it's way.
What
out of
if-
range.
Let's say-
Hang on, you guys. What if?
We're not going after that bird?
No, but what if the bird is actually the ship with like major illusion?
I mean,
Because
that's
no
a
one would
thought.
attack this giant ass bird. Bird's
could
just
find
flying
out.
along like,
if we happen to see it, but that is a hell of a risk. Actually, no, I can't.
Okay, how about
Also
this?
This is
want
what I
to
was gonna
point
say.
out-
So
Okay.
Lydia said
So
we talked to
Guys?
Riker.
real quick,
Rider. Right, left.
Right.
even
Richard?
if our theory
Robert?
is right, and in the eye of the storm is their base, why is our small troop going to take on their entire base of operation?
Because it's
We
just a little
also
traveling
have a
group.
pressing
Haven't you
matter.
ever played video games, sir? That's how that works.
Oh!
You
Okay,
No,
you
I'm
check
just
it
kinda
out.
tired of constantly getting.
We check it
Guys,
out, and then we go.
guys.
Yes.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yes.
go ahead, Breya.
Go
We
ahead,
have
Blair.
not shared what we learned today. There is another pressing matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. How was your day? I'm so rude. That's so rude of me.
Breya
I'm
pulls out
sorry.
the paper and shows Mirra the symbol. I think Belhaven left us behind as a clue that he is off to try to unearth this cult that's returned.
Is it that little baby symbol that you can't see?
The you can't see is an important detail
Eh.
there.
It's too tiny. It's a
I thought you
squiggle.
said it wasn't the swirl.
It's not the
It
swirl.
is the swirl, but
You might have to do a manual magnification and draw a bigger version.
You
there's
might have to take a picture with your phone and upload it in the chat.
That's too much work.
the one that you
Takes
found.
too much effort.
There's some. It's not the same, but you can't put your finger on what's different. But it is
Swirl.
at least 99% the same swirl.
Okay, well, I think Belhaven took
I'm
off
an
to deal
artiste.
with this, and he didn't tell anyone because we know the cult has infiltrated the kingdom. So he can't trust anyone. But I think he left this behind for us to know where he went, and I think he needs help.
That doesn't sound like Belhaven.
Really?
True, but
Really?
I'll leave that for you
When
guys to
when have
decide.
you ever known Belhaven not to deal with shit when it comes up? And if he can't trust anyone, why would he
I
tell
mean,
anyone?
he does actually go there pretty often.
Go
He
where?
does,
From
but
from
he would
time to
Not
time.
often, but he
Not
does.
often, from time to time.
But he's told no one, and everyone is asking where he is. He's told no one.
Well, yeah,
Literally,
because he
the only
doesn't want
people-
the Empire to be like, oh, he went
He
there,
doesn't know who
let's
he can
go and
trust.
take our
But
sun
the
cloud.
question is, Belhaven is someone of high stature and high, he's up there. He's
Very.
good.
But he left this behind for a reason.
But
So, do we go
was
there
it-
next?
But was it meant for us?
I think so. I think he left this for me to find, because I would know where to look for it.
Yeah, but then where does the symbol thingy tell us to go?
We know where he went.
Where? To your hometown?
No.
Then where?
He's gone off out of game. What's the name of it again?
The Tri-Alliance.
The Tri-Alliance?
Tri-Alliance.
Tri-Alliance.
He
And
went to the
why does that
Tri-Alliance.
symbol tell us to go to the Tri-Alliance? Is that a Tri-Alliance symbol?
No, he
No.
went to the Tri-Alliance. We know this through investigation. This is the symbol of the cultists.
Commander Ryder said that he took a ship that was going to the Tri-Alliance.
I think the cult is behind all these shenanigans between the Empire and Valona and the tension that's happening. And I think he's trying to reveal it. This is what I have gathered.
I can
and my
believe that.
suspicions.
On an intellectual note, but this would probably be leaning more towards Breya's personality, Yuelia's personality. But basically, anybody who would listen to you would say, who on earth would benefit from riling everybody up and pitting them against each other? But for
People who
some
are trying to
reason,
end the goddamn world.
that doesn't sound far-fetched for a bunch of people wanting everything to burn.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
And
So-
in our hallucination, Mirra, the Empire was there. Along
Yeah.
with the burning Valonan fields. They were there.
Okay.
So we go and try and meet up with them next?
I mean,
I-
we're still gonna
I
have to
don't
cross
know
the
if these
storm.
sky pirates or this is more urgent.
But didn't we already take this quest?
What quest?
Guy
We did
terrorists.
take a quest to look into the Sky Pirates. I
Well,
just want everyone to know about what we found.
you took a flyer. The person that you need
Yeah,
to
we haven't officially done anything.
as
Right,
a
but
person you need to report to.
Crusix has.
Yes.
They
Crusix took the quest, if I'm not mistaken.
He just
Yeah,
took
I
a
did.
flyer too.
I
Oh.
took a flyer. I was inquiring about it.
Because you're
saw the
supposed
word
to come
pirates.
in. Go ahead.
He looks up and says, I know I'm the kind of oddball here and don't really have much of a say in matters, but I've recently learned that my new goal now is the Empire. The information I need may be there. But it being as big as it is, and me being just one man, obviously that's something that's beyond my capability to handle.
Okay.
It might be
However,
something that's deeply involved
If
with
this
the Sky
person you're searching for can help us get into that Empire, then I would gladly pledge my services to help you find this person.
All right. So
I
then
think that
let's.
could very well be involved because the
Okay.
Tri-Alliance has to do with the Empire as well.
Can we at
Out
least
of-
look into the storm?
Well,
Like,
I was gonna ask, out of character, would we have to cross through that storm to go to the Empire? In
You
that
guys
way?
are in the storm.
yeah, so
right
we'd have
now.
to get out of
Yeah,
it
we'd
anyway.
have
So
to get
when
out
we
of
would,
the storm.
so even trying to go out through our airship, we're running that risk of running into these things.
So what I
Yeah.
say,
So in other words, we need to just, if we're going to the Empire, we need to be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Yep. But
or
let's say we take the very long trip to the Empire and we make it to Belhaven. What then?
So, just
Would
something
find out.
over my head really
Tri-Alliance
quick.
not the Empire?
Tri-Alliance is elves, dwarves, and giants.
Yeah, but isn't it an island that belongs to the Tri-Alliance, or am I wrong?
No, they own a very large portion of land.
the island is something else.
Basically, to the northeast, I need to get a map done. There's so much to do. But basically, there's a very large forest that the elves live in, and the dwarves actually live under those trees.
Okay,
down
so
the
the Tri-Alliance isn't actually to the Empire.
No.
No.
It's just its own thing.
It's their own
No.
separate nation.
To do it camera wise, the Empire is northwest, and the Tri Alliance is more east but northeast.
Okay, so then why would we don't have to go to the Empire right now, but we should definitely
No.
find Belhaven.
But we might find that the next step after Belhaven could be the Empire.
But we
Right.
are on
Have to
peaceful
see what
terms with the
happens.
Tri-Alliance, no? It's
Valona
more.
is
I
No,
think
I'll
just
be right back.
negotiation terms.
probably in terms of which group of individuals they get along with the most would probably be the Tri Alliance. But
Or
none
don't-
of the
don't
nations,
fuck with us, we don't fuck with you, kind of things.
yeah, none of the nations are really on like super agreeable terms.
Then do you think
Everybody would-
Belhaven's trying to get them to Valona's side in case an attack
I mean,
of the
he
Empire
could be
comes?
trying to get them to join forces. That sounds like something he would do, but he's not a mediator. He's not. He's
Diplomat, no.
He is absolutely not a diplomat.
that old coot. No, absolutely not. But he's going there for a reason. So maybe we should just
Well, isn't
take
he
a trip to
dwarvish?
the Tri-Alliance.
Maybe he has connections. Maybe he knows people there. I'm sure
Yeah,
he does.
let's take a trip to the Tri-Alliance, see what's going on, and then we'll probably head out to the Empire and see how this goes.
Why would we
If
go
we
to
need
the
to.
Empire if they're trying to like
Huh?
attack
What?
us? No,
What?
no. Why would we?
What did you say?
Why would we go to the Empire if they're like trying to attack?
We're not sure. We don't.
No,
I'm not
no.
saying we're going to the Empire, but that's probably where it's going to end up
So
taking us.
things your characters would know, just to throw it out there, DM advice. So Lydia actually has some knowledge. Have you shared that with them?
Of
Secrets.
where I'm from?
Or just your knowledge of the Empire? Have you ever shared your knowledge of the Empire?
Never came up, but I don't see why I wouldn't.
Okay. So, as I don't want to say anything that you might be but the thing is that a lot of you through your classes, and this is what I was mainly getting at, Mirra, and Lydia, even Aurora, would have paid enough attention to the Empire part, because that is basically the biggest antagonist in the world at the moment. They're always starting a fight with just about everybody. Um, any inch they take a mile. Any treaty usually
Do
doesn't
we
last.
know if there's any nation that's currently at war with the Empire right now?
Everybody.
Oh, well.
And it's less that they are with war with them and more that the Empire is always poking the bear towards everybody. But the crazy thing is that they're actually doing well. Like, no one's been able to just, like, turn around and just end it. So, it is what it is. The Empire is the leading country in technology. So they're making a lot of innovations using science more than magic, although they incorporate both. But basically, the biggest thing about the Empire that you guys are aware of is that they are like Iron Fist dictatorship, and getting into the Empire will be no easy feat. Like, expect checkpoint after checkpoint after checkpoint, and
the Empire is something we'll probably end up fighting or dealing
That's
with, I should say.
endgame shit, but yeah.
But I think, at least for right now, I think our focus is probably the Tri-Alliance.
I'm
So
just saying as a DM that if you choose to go to the Empire, expect the game to turn into a Metal Gear Solid game. Just
Hey,
around the
PD,
entire.
no, down. Bad PD.
hey Josh,
Sure.
where did Erdmar go? Where was he originally from?
Erdmar is from the Tri-Alliance.
From the Tri-Alliance, gotcha.
I'm back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay, so how about this?
I think that's our next step is
Well, but-
we're gonna yeah go ahead.
What if? So first, because we're already here.
Yes.
So what if,
Okay.
like, Lydia had the super cool idea to like go to right left, and Riker.
Wow.
Ryder. Go on.
Richard.
Ryder. And
He liked your cookies.
I absolutely
who
love
like
it.
he
Breya
did?
suddenly gasped.
His name's going to be like 4 or 5 names long. Just
Ryder
for me.
likes my cookies. Did you see
Breya
him eat
suddenly
one?
gasped
Maybe.
and says,
Anyway,
I'm so sorry, I forgot to do something, and
What-
run the ship.
and she's gone again. Oh my god.
Oof.
All
But
day with her.
but so
But-
we go to Ryder,
Yeah.
and
Is it Ryder,
Richter.
like ER?
like a rider riding a
Ryder.
horse.
Ryder.
It should
It's
be
Captain
R.
Raptor.
It should be REITER.
Oh, like Ryder, like a
That is
writer.
definitely not how I
But
spelled
not
it. I have
spelled
RHEIDER.
It's pronounced like it's pronounced like a writer, but it's spelled REITER.
Okay. Breya's off
Mine
the
has
top
an H
list,
in it.
by the way.
I wasn't sure if it was a D or a T, but yeah.
Breya
right.
did what now? I'm sorry.
She's off the
I'm gonna
chocolate.
add an H.
Okay.
I
Um.
forgot to
Okay.
do that,
So
and it's probably by the end of the day.
Okay.
okay.
So,
So we
while
go to
she's gone-
Ryder, and
Yeah.
we. What if we get? Because we don't want to like hurt the winged maiden. So what if we, like, say, hey, like a lot of your ships are getting sunk. Like, do you have a super strong ship so we can go take a look because we think they might be in the storm? And then we take a super strong ship and just take a peek and see if they're there. And then we could like, if they are there and we don't want to fight them by
could see if
ourselves, we
they're
could always
willing
just
to
hire
let us
people.
borrow a ship.
We could like hire people. You know, that's a thing we can do. Or bring in other teams. My birds are very upset downstairs.
Or at least just bring it up to their attention. Or his attention.
Well, I mean, us leaving this area, there's a good chance we're going to be hit or we're going to be attacked. So
Also,
even
quick-
if we're trying to do anything, worst case scenario, we need to be prepared.
Quick note, are we going to keep the sick Drider on our ship?
We
Of
wanted
course!
her
Definitely
treated on our
look
ship.
into that.
Did the
The
doctor
reason
come
we
yet?
want her treated on
Yeah, I
our
was about
ship.
to say.
Hold on. The reason we wanted her treated on the ship was because Driders haven't been seen in over 200 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And the last thing we need is someone to capture her to put in a petting zoo.
Yeah.
Crusix
And-
leans over and goes, "There's a person named Drider here?
No,
Isn't that those rumored rare half spider creatures?
Yeah, they're just as terrifying as they seem.
That's a silly name to name somebody."
Her name is Ressa. Thank you very
Drider's
much.
kind of a cool name.
Drider is a really cool name. I guess I'm gonna go. Okay, so do we like? We're already
I'll
here.
back.
Do we take like an armored ship up and just take a peek in the
Crusix
storm?
does speak up. I've never sailed on a flying vessel, but I'm pretty sure that we'd be able to handle this storm no problem. I've seen much worse storms on the sea, and I've heard rumors that sailing on the ocean's much more perilous than in the air. I'm pretty sure the ship could handle a storm this size.
That's. I mean, we made it here. I think we can manage. I agree.
We avoided being in the storm, though.
We avoided the storm. We didn't
You
go
didn't
through it.
avoid the storm.
Yeah.
You kind of sailed over it and then kind of just dropped right down on Valona.
Like
So there's no reason we can't do that again.
Just go straight up over it and then.
And look around.
We just have to take a peek and see, but I'd rather avoid the whole confrontation in general if they are a bigger fleet than what we believe, but I think our goal is the Tri-Alliance.
But we could get a super cool little row skyboat.
We can look and see, but we tried to get one just to get us to Breya's hometown that I can't remember the name of.
Midway Borough.
Midway Burrows, thank you. And all they did was drop us off there. We didn't even have a way back.
Well, this
But
will just be
this
flying
is a
around
threat to
Valona.
Valona's security. It's a bit of a different issue.
And we're not, like, taking it out somewhere. We're staying in Valona.
Just to be clear, though, and Lydia would definitely be aware of this, you'd be a little white cloud flying around in the middle of a massive gray cloud.
If we used the Winged Maiden versus if we go to Rider. Yeah, that's right. Rider and get a, like a
Look at your
better.
notes.
Gotta look. RHEIDER. Yep.
Rider, yes.
Yep.
I'm just gonna pronounce his name with a British accent now.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, if we want to just borrow another ship to not, look obvious, it's worth a shot. We can try. That's all we can probably do though. But we need to figure out this Ressa thing first and foremost. So first and foremost, has the doctor showed up? Is he here? Are they there? Is Ressa even here? I don't know. What's going on?
So it looks like they already took Ressa away secretly. Or
Okay.
at least he's not on the ship anymore.
Lord Rider?
No, we told them to. Because they couldn't do much with her there. They needed to actually take her to the hospital to deal with her.
They know to be
But we did
secret
tell
about her
them-
though.
But we did tell them to be.
They were like, holy shit, like we need to keep this on the DL, and we were like,
Well, then I think Shrike is probably there because Shrike was insistent to be with Ressa when she woke up.
Then there's a good
That's
chance
true.
Shrike is with her. Then
Because Shrike thought he had managed to find a way to communicate with her.
Then let's go.
have the boys done their shopping yet, or do they need to go shopping yet? Wait,
They
I
were
said they
told to
could
go
go when the
shop-
doctors could come. Yeah. so-
When the doctor showed up is when they could leave. So is when they could do their shopping. So I assume that they've done their shit.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
need to check on Egbert. Is Egbert still here?
The egg is still there.
Okay. My baby.
Yeah,
my
Crusix, we
sweet
have a
baby.
giant egg too.
Interesting.
Sorry. You picked a weird group of people. I'm sorry.
Sir, ma'am.
Ma'am.
They're talking. Listen, Mikey. Ma'am, I've seen a lot of strange things out there. By any chance, would you happen to know
I
what
just
kind of creature this egg might come from?
I pooped it with
we-
magic.
You did not poop it. We believe it's a dragon.
I poofed it
Interesting.
with magic.
By any chance,
in
would you
case-
happen to know what variant?
It was supposed to be a horse.
Okay, it's.
Horse?
She's right. It was supposed to be a horse. Add a
horse?
character. Dragons have been extinct, Paul.
So this is really fucked up.
Oh, okay.
I have an extinct creature egg.
No, if you all purchase this, you got ripped off. That's fake.
I poofed it with
No.
magic. I was trying to make a horse.
It. She didn't purchase it.
She didn't. She just actually just tried to.
She birthed it. Don't take that away from her.
Yes.
Okay, she
a
birthed
baby.
it. I'm gonna. But she. Okay. Anyway.
So I had this idea for a spell, and like, oh, I'm gonna like make a horse and make us go faster. Maybe it'll be a lizard. I don't know. And maybe it's a donkey, like a camel. Like that'd be cool. Like something that we could
Okay.
ride on.
He
and
opens
then-
his mouth to say something, but quickly decides just to not, and then gives her a smile and a thumbs up.
For the best. Let's go talk to Ryder and see if we can find a replacement ship.
Okay.
Off we go.
What?
Ryder is not in the airport.
Who's in charge while he's gone? Did he leave his cookies or did he take them with him?
The cookies do not seem to be there.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Ryder's normal post is not the airport.
Oh.
He generally comes to either assess something in regards to the airships or to give out new orders. He doesn't particularly just stay there in the mechanic area.
Do we have to get a number to ask where his main office is? Take number 12. We're on 700.
I demand to talk to Commander Ryder.
That didn't
As
work out
an
last
elite,
time.
You probably could directly ask to speak to him. We could ask to speak to the king. And this guy's just a commander.
He outranks us so much. We learned that last time.
Right, but we, as elites, we are allowed to ask to speak to people of high
So
rank.
you can make requests, you just can't make demands.
Yeah. So we can ask. Like, we're even allowed to ask to have an audience with the king.
Why would we do that?
Story.
Yeah, but it
Why
doesn't
would you
hurt
do
to
that?
ask.
Anyway, then let's go see what we can find.
Okay.
Chopping wood.
So what's the decision?
Did you take Aurora with you? Are you having a chop off?
Nah.
Aw,
You
that
know
would've
what?
been
I'm
fun.
not gonna. You know what? No, I'd bring Aurora because Aurora shouldn't go diplomatic negotiate. So I would bring Aurora to help and challenge Aurora to a chop off.
Yes. Chop.
Get Aurora to be productive to society.
Trick her into being productive.
So, but ultimately, the decision the group is making is
Find Ryder. Captain.
Okay.
Colonel. Commander.
Commander.
Yep. Got it.
So, who wants to give me an investigation check?
Not me.
I got it.
Mirra, you're first gonna stay dry.
It's gonna be wonderful. I don't have
somebody wanna help
me people anymore. Oh,
Is anybody
you're.
else proficient?
You can do it. I believe in you.
Would I be able to participate? I wouldn't know who this person is, would I?
So check. So go to your skills and go to
No,
investigation.
I meant Crusix in general. Like, would he even
If
know?
you're-
who we were
You said
looking
you've been here for a few months.
a couple of times, but never dealt with the elites.
If you're proficient in investigation, you can help with investigation.
I could just
Otherwise-
give you a
Like, you're
description of the
Looking
person.
around and talking to people and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You can gather
Is Dorval
information.
here?
Dorval is. And he
There you
would
go.
most likely assist Yuelia.
Okay. I mean, assisting just means I get advantage, so I just get.
Correct.
James says he said he was gonna be here.
I know.
I'll reach out and
You said investigation?
Correct.
26.
Oh.
So, going through the normal branch of finding out where important individuals are, you know, their subordinates and the people above them and the people above them, supervisors and whatnot. Basically, you and Dorval managed to find out that Commander Ryder has actually gone to talk to the king.
That's concerning. I think.
Okay. So either we don't get a new one, or we go and talk to the king to get information.
I'm all for helping people, but this just seems like a lot of work.
Not wrong.
Sorry. I mean, if we take doing a maiden...
Breya and Aurora are going to chop wood, though?
Yes.
Yes.
They're
Okay.
chopping wood. I mean, we have time, so technically...
Alright, let's see if we can get an audience with the king.
So,
Yo, king, it's me, your boy.
so you guys make your way to the front of the castle, the very front, and it's kind of alarming. You guys have spent a good, especially the elites, have spent a good time in the academy, which is right next to the castle, give or take. But it's mind blowing. There are literally soldiers everywhere. The closer you get to the castle, the more that there's less patrolling and more people just at post, just people here, there, standing guard. It's alarming how many individuals are at military ready. Like, something happens, they're good to go. But no one really gives you a side glance or breaks their formation or anything as you guys make your way to the front gate. There, you basically make it to the drawbridge, which is pulled up, and there's a knight standing at where like the broad drawbridge would land. There's a knight standing post there.
Hello, we're the elites.
James says he's just about to hop on. He just got home.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
We're the elites. We heard Commander Ryder was here.
The knight doesn't respond.
Hello, are you okay? Oh no, he's gone deaf! Are you a statue?
Hi, we were looking to see if we can maybe get an audience with the king.
He turns to
Okay. I thought he got turned into a statue for a second there. Hi.
his helmet, turns to look down towards Yuelia, and he goes, "Oh, Librarian Yuelia.
Hi.
What information were you requesting?"
We are looking for Commander Ryder, and we were told he had an audience with the king.
That's not really privileged information, but yes, that is where he is.
Is there a chance we can also have the same privilege?
Did you already submit a request to see the king?
No.
So
This is rather urgent.
Urgent. Make a persuasion check.
I'm not good at those.
Okay.
Oh no.
I want to help.
Now, Mikey, it's
I don't know how to help without
okay?
making it worse.
It's unless you're going to actually.
I know.
Unless you're going to spout some words, this is entirely on.
I was trying to think of
That's
something
a
to say.
9.
Oh, I was about to say something. I was chewing.
I was trying to think of something to say, but everything I thought of would just make it worse.
Madam
That's
Yuelia, you know what the protocols are, especially in this dire time for Valona.
Right.
You cannot expect me to just drop the drawbridge and let you in with no prior notice. It may be urgent, but there are channels for that kind of emergency.
Right.
Well, then I guess we just, give up on helping the Valonan people with their empire problem and, the sky terrorists just robbing us all the time. It's really a shame.
That's enough, Mirra.
Mirra's starting to get the feeling, because it doesn't seem like this knight is acknowledging Mirra at all, which is kind of
Mirra's now
bizarre.
gonna try harder.
It's okay.
Hi!
Thank you for your time.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for your time.
What's up?
You're so very welcome.
I apologize for trying to get you to go against your post.
I'm sorry for clapping in your face. I thought you were turned into a statue.
And I apologize for her too.
Let's see here.
We're doing great, by the way. We're perfectly fine. There's no need to worry about us. For the love of God, get your character in here. We're dying. We're not doing okay.
Not quite that bad, but...
It's not. Oh.
But yeah, you guys are still in the heavy rain as well. Mirra, even over the sound of rain, you pick up the knight whispering to the guards next to him. He goes, "Keep an eye on them."
Hey, Yuelia, when did you become a librarian? Did you just get a job now?
Me?
Yuelia.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
When did you become a librarian? Did you go to the library and then just get a job right now? And then how did he know about it? The word travels really fast.
I have been one.
Nah, it doesn't sound right.
It's been on my clothes, Mirra. I show her the pin.
That's an official librarian signet. Signet? It's a badge.
Signet.
Oh, I thought you just like sparkly pins.
It's an emblem that basically proves that she is who she says she is.
Oh,
Just
I was
like
making you a sparkly seashell because I thought you liked pins.
Just like you guys have yours, I have mine as well.
I don't have a pin.
Do you want the sparkly seashell I was making?
I would love that.
Okay, hang on. I need to change it to be just for you now. And it's
Okay.
raining, so we'll have to wait until we're indoors. But I will make it just for you. And then I lean over to Yuelia. Oh, sorry, microphone. Lean over to you. Camera. Stop. Thank you.
Game.
Yeah, I lean over to Yuelia. Stop!
Stop!
She
No.
had lag in real life.
Leg in real
Out of
life.
game, what was the cult called? What did the bugbear call the cult? Was it the cult of the immortal eye?
Of the Elder Elemental Eye.
The elder elemental eye.
Or, as you guys have heard, the Rizadoon.
Oh yeah, I
No,
have
no.
that written down.
The Elemental Evil.
The Riz... I'm missing an I. That makes much more sense. Okay. And then I lean over to Yuelia.
Yeah.
I think something is weird with that guard because he told people to tail us.
And the first thing Yuelia would think of is the Prowlers.
Oh.
The invisible people that...
I miss our Prowler. I named him Greg.
That's a good name for a prowler.
Right?
So they probably sent prowlers. It's
I
fine.
know,
We don't need to do
Rick in
anything.
real life that looks like a prowler.
It's fine.
Well,
We just
Bless you.
then do we just,
we'll
like,
we'll just have to take our shit.
do we just, like, tell the people who are handing out quests what we learned, that it's actually just elites being meanies? And then we go to the trifecta.
What now?
I'm confused too.
I agree.
I am so confused.
So,
Did
if
she
we're
just say
not...
the Sky Pirates are actually elites?
And their meanings.
Oh, no,
Right. I think I know what you were going with.
Imperials.
Right.
There. I don't know. Okay, don't ask. I don't know. So,
I mean,
if we're not gonna get a
word.
ship, and they're
We're
being
just gonna
like,
have to use our own shit.
but we're a giant white beacon
I mean,
of
that's
fluffy.
what else can we do?
poof.
Or not? Do we just stay here and wait?
I mean, we could just go and do the
Shrike
next
was
thing.
here, he would say that we just hijack another ship.
He would say that.
I am not hijacking another ship from.
I'm not okay with that. I got
Wait,
scolded.
so- Why can't we use our ship? Is it
Because when we fly, it
stands
makes
out
a
in the rain
pretty
and the
white
storm.
cloud under us in the middle of a gray-black clouded
I
sky.
see.
So
Okay.
we're
He
kind
would stand out a lot.
You can't get to
So-
the window. I blocked it. No, don't even
So I
try.
think if we
Don't
just
even
do it, we
try.
just have to prepare for what
Do
happens.
we have any casters in the group that knows, what is it, prestidigitation?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Could you use that to disguise it and make it look like a gray cloud?
Too big.
That is a big cloud.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
I
do like
figured it
5
was too big.
feet or something.
And
Because I was thinking
Prestidigitation
about
will-
using
I
illusion as
gotcha.
well.
You'd need
But-
major, which is
I don't even think major illusion would fit.
What about? How big is the
it
ship?
could do a dragon. How couldn't it do a cloud?
You can do a dragon
Speaking
that
of-
fits in a 20-foot cube.
How is the egg doing? Sorry.
Poor
The egg
guy.
seems to be in perfectly, at least when you checked and Mirra checked, it's perfectly warm and doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it.
Egbert
Okay.
is a happy normal baby.
I'm still doting over it.
I got so
Well,
many
no.
extra blankets and I made him a nest. It's very nice.
I don't know if anybody's told you yet, but you have an extremely high quality
Cloak.
all-weather cloak that Breya got you with your name.
Yeah, she messaged me.
Yeah,
So
I
sweet.
let him know.
So I don't
So-
have to keep poking you for present. I'm still gonna do it anyways. But you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everybody, I mean, the rain still sucks, but the weather's not getting to you guys at all now.
My hair thanks you.
But Mirra just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb being pure pink.
I'm
Nothing
happy.
wrong
It
with that.
doesn't. Nothing bothers me. I'm happy right now.
What was your hometown called again, Breya?
Midway Burrows.
Then let's go to the hospital, check up on the rest of the situation, and
Grab
then
Shrike.
we'll grab
Yeah.
Shrike, and then we'll start heading out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
For the sake of time, basically, you guys make your way to another part. It's not. It's kind of like the academy. A lot of Valona's major research is done in the highest station of Valona, so where you guys are currently at. And one of those is medical research, and that's where they have her at. They let you see her; she's still unconscious, but according to them, she was hypovolemic per se. She lost a lot of blood.
Oh.
She's just she'll make it, but she's recovering, and it's going to take time.
Okay.
Like, had you done anything less, she probably wouldn't have made the trip back over.
Every night I want to say a prayer to Moradin for her.
I will help you with that.
Like at least 100 mommy kisses to fix it.
Yeah. So,
So-
That's a lot of mommy kisses.
so are we? If
Well,
we're gonna be going for a while, do we? I guess we leave her with them until we decide we're gonna go.
Leave her with who though?
The hospital, medical research
Mistaken.
center, which
Can I,
sounds like they're gonna dissect her.
Yeah.
Could I pay for someone to come with us and watch her on? Oh, I guess we can't really bring her if we're not bringing the ship. Never mind.
No, we're gonna take the ship. There's
Okay.
no way around it.
Eventually, well, like when we decide, like if we go
But
up,
the thing is she better off with us? Because we're not doing anything to give her medical attention.
Right. So I was thinking of hiring someone for our ship that could provide medical attention, only because of what was said in last session that a Drider hasn't been seen in 200 years, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to her while we're gone.
You want to
that's
hire
exactly what I said this session. We don't want her in a petting zoo.
you want to hire a PA for her or something? Like
I would love to, you know.
All right,
Is
we
that
can see.
possible?
We can look.
I mean, you're not going to get any of the research individuals on that, but I mean,
which is surprising considering the medical marvel that we dropped at their feet. Like
the Valona medical staff are not really known to, do that kind of thing.
but it's
There's gotta be
she
like
is a
cleric or
medical
something
marvel.
We can hire though.
Yeah.
It could be.
Because we can hire a bunch of different people, so I
I'm
would
sure
think
there's
like
a whole bunch of individuals. Just throwing that out there. Slow Step was looking for.
That's
work
right.
with
Slow
I'm
Step.
actually-
and his whole thing is medicine and healing. Like,
But he
I
doesn't
sent a
like
message
me.
To him.
He doesn't like me. And that's a
I
problem.
sent a message to him, but I don't think
You
I ever
did.
got anything back.
It takes a hot minute for him to respond, okay? His name is
Wait.
Slow Step.
I have a question.
I can't.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Do you remember when we were in the academy, we had a rival that was kind of a dickhead?
That douche.
Does anyone remember that guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in my list
his name was
under
Logan.
enemies.
You
Oh,
just
wait, we
described
became friends at the
everyone's
end.
Childhood high school
Was he an
bully.
elf?
We became friends at
He was
the
a
end.
dark elf.
Do
So,
dark
Josh-
elves are they like known like elves to also have magic and enchanting?
Golvier. He
I
was
mean,
a jerk, but I think
Like,
we
could
befriended
we try
him.
to contact him to be like, hey, do you know anyone who specializes in this type of magic?
You can.
I was actually hoping that I could like maybe put a feeler out for like a dwarf in Valona that may be associated with the Church of Moradin. I know that people don't typically worship Moradin anymore, but I was hoping that maybe there might be a cleric.
Let me do 2 rolls.
Can I write a letter to Golvier then?
Sure.
Should
You
we
just
teach
gotta
one
let
of the boys? I
Can I-
wonder if one of the boys is good at medical shit. I doubt it.
So Valona isn't really known for having a lot of religious anything.
Right.
There are people who pretty much worship what they worship, and they might run into other people. But there's no like large gatherings of any particular religion
Right.
in Valona.
Right. Could I use like my ear to the ground, my urban bounty hunter thing to find out if like there might be like I was asking you a couple weeks ago, if maybe there's somebody related to Jarvin within Valona, you know, like one of the Firebeards or Rock
Right.
Crushers.
And I did roll on that, and as far as your network is aware of, nobody in Valona.
Okay.
But you said you were going to write a message to. He's more of a rival now. He kind of gets a kick off of trying to one up you guys. To not much avail.
Fucking Golvier.
But you wanted to send him a message?
I'm writing it out.
As far as butthead students, there was a lot of them.
He
one of
would
the
mess
closest-
with my shit just for the lulls. Like, I don't.
One of the closer to the top of the rankings was a high elf of what she said was noble blood. She was also from the Tri-Alliance. Most of the elves live in the Tri-Alliance. Wood elves, high elves, dark elves. They actually live in harmony now.
If my fan's blowing in my mic, by the way, just let me know.
No, you're
Oh.
good.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, good.
To be fair, we also have rain in the background, so it would probably sound the same either way. But you're.
You know what? It keeps acting like Mikey. Is it raining over your way yet?
There was a storm earlier.
Yeah, we had a storm.
No, it's raining now.
I've been out doing lift today. I've been through that storm 4 or 5 different times today. Like, I literally driven into it, then driven right back out of it, then turned around, right back into it again 5 different times.
If he can survive it, so can we. Let's take the ship up, check out that store.
If I can handle driving lift in the rain, this ship can handle anything.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
So we hire, like, Slow Step doesn't like me, but, I mean, he was, like, good at what he does, so...
I mean, I tried to hire him for something, but he never got back to me. So.
I tried to hire Sprocket, but he didn't respond, but he did, like, register our ship.
But as far as the conversation with Slow Step, I can't remember what you specifically talked about.
It was mostly to try and get aid for anything that we could use here on the ship with medical help or potions.
I mean, you guys are in good standing with Slow Step. If you wanted him to come along with you, even without rolling, I'm pretty sure that he would join up and be like a on-ship physician kind of thing.
Nice.
I would happily pay him.
Okay, there's the letter. I don't know if that's how you spell his name.
Yes, that is exactly how you spell his name.
It sounds like you're being racially biased and only talking with him because he's an elf.
I hope you're well after that success. And you have had success with your quest. Recently, Mirra came into contact with Pudding, and it raised the enchantment for a precious set of weapons that she cares very much for. We come to learn that elves develop enchantment magic and skills of your master cannot be well understand this far shot, and that you may know some. So, how are you going about this? Are you using the male goblins or?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the male goblins.
Okay. Can't go wrong with male goblins.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright. The letter is sent off. I'm sure they'll be terrorizing Golvier wherever he is momentarily.
Hello.
I
really hope he's not in a stealth mission or something right now. That would suck.
They try to be, what's the word?
Discreet. Incognito.
They try to be considerate of the current situation, but sometimes it's just, they do their thing and they're right there, so they just go to present it, and then it's like, oh, monster, oh, you were hiding, oh.
Oops.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Well, we can send another letter to Slow Step being like, hey, we are in Valona, and we are working on a sky ship, and thought this would be a great opportunity for you if you were looking for work. We pay. Send like another letter to Slow Step saying we're here. Like, you want to come?
Okay. Are you gonna wait for a reply or for him to show up, or are you just gonna send it and then take off?
I'm writing it with Yuelia. Because you said you contacted Slow Step last?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, should we stay here like one more night and say we're leaving in the morning? To get our shit together?
Yeah. That sounds fine. We can get a good rest and then...
Yeah. Let's do that. Because then hopefully we'll have an engineer. Hopefully we'll have a medic. Hopefully we'll have info on fixing Rough and Tough.
Okay, then we'll rest one night and then off we go.
We should check out some of our items and see if there's anything we want to sell while we're in the city. Because that stuff we posted...
First thing in the morning.
I can use the scimitar, but my rapier does more, like a plain rapier that I got does more damage anyways.
Just so you know, the rod is also a finesse weapon.
What's it based off of?
It's blunt damage, but
What's
Uh,
that? What's that rod do, by the way? I want to know.
It's not made yet, so it's whatever
I think
Josh
it's
says
like
it
a-
is.
I think it's a light mace or a light hammer or something like that.
Interesting.
But it's absolutely 100% a weapon that you can use your dex with.
That
Ah,
does
okay.
D4 though. Does that still do a D4 or does it do a D6?
I'll have to look into the specifics, but it's D4 with a very powerful ability, so that's up to you.
I guess we'll save that one. But so we still have See No Evil, the Cursed Mask. We have Fire Hand Axe, which Breya might be able to throw sometimes.
Yep, that's a throwable thing.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Breya, you want a throwable Fire Axe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It just won't return, so.
Crusix, you have stuff.
I
Ranged.
do have stuff.
You have ranged capabilities, right?
He has a particularly nasty whip.
Oh, right, that whip that you showed us.
He kind of
Do not
chuckles
pull it
and,
out again.
No,
Do
I
not
put
pull it
a
out again.
shiny L-shaped looking thing. I give it a little spin. I do have a couple of these metal
Out of
boomerangs.
context, that's horrible. Can you imagine they're like walking on the street and then Yuelia is like, "Do not pull that out again."
Ew.
You know what? That's not the first time I've had that conversation in public, Josh.
Ew. What kind of does anyone wear padded leather armor or leather armor?
I do.
leather
I
armor.
do.
Okay, so we have padded leather armor of jolt resistance,
Ooh.
so it gets lightning damage. We also have scale mail, which is D's.
I have an amulet of mage armor, so I'm good.
Okay. So who has basic leather armor right now?
I do.
Jarvin. Lilith, didn't we
Crusix
give
does
you
too.
armor?
No, I think I
Doesn't
just have
Crusix also
normal
have just
below
regular
them.
leather
Yeah,
armor?
just basic leather right now.
Okay,
So Crusix, I'm sorry. What are you up and close and personal, or are you like a stand back kind of combat person? Because if you're up and
Mid-range.
close,
Well, there's technically three forms. There's front line, midline, and back line.
I'm midline.
Now, as I was about to say, I would say that Crusix is a midline fighter.
I can do ranged with my boomerangs. I can do melee with my rapier, but I'm usually within range where I can strike with my whip and still be able to provide aid for those in the back, mainly our casters.
got you.
And also able to help buff those that's a bit more of the muscular build up front.
Got you.
Midline is usually supporting the front line.
Okay, so we'll keep that leather armor for you guys. Can anyone use scale mail?
No.
No.
I can't.
A regular quarterstaff. Does anyone use a
Is that
scimitar?
the bonk people?
Bonk.
I mean, I probably could.
So it's a regular scimitar, so a D6, but then you get an extra 1 point of fire.
Now, just to throw that in there, these items that have these like very minor enchantments, like the embers and the jolt resistance, they are considered magical.
So you can't tweak them further.
Well, it's
But they
more like if
also-
the hits.
They also
like,
overcome resistance to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
non-magical
exactly like
weapons.
dealing with like wisps or ghosts or whatever.
Yeah.
That
And they're
scimitar's not
also-
going to do shit to them.
They are also naturally more durable
Of
than
the ghost, of the ghost.
Ah!
magical. This item is considered magical. It never degrades from any. That's not correct. It never degrades from natural causes and repairs slowly over time if damaged but not broken. It has resistance to all damage types but is immune to psychic damage.
Because it don't got a brain.
That's correct.
That's cute. Okay, so then I guess we just have the scale mail, quarterstaff, and speak no evil to get rid of. Was there any of our other stuff that we kept that we were going to get rid of later? Let me see. On the
Still
boat.
don't know what someday does, but I'm not intending to get rid of it.
Someday. Still have a light hammer on the ship.
Maybe Yuelia can tell what someday does. I don't know if I ever showed it to Yuelia.
What now? What's going on?
Yuelia!
Hi.
I have a ring!
You have
I
a
need
ring.
you to look at it.
Okay.
I will listen.
I take it off and hand it to Yuelia. Can you tell me what this does? I've had it forever, and I don't know what it does. And a dear friend
Sure.
of mine told me just to wear it, and it would come to me, but it hasn't.
Okay.
Actually, okay, I'm gonna also
wait.
give you a D8 with my
Well,
No, I'm gonna save you. It's already. I think I've already done this.
Oh, you have.
Yep, I have.
Is it the one
It was locked behind an enchantment,
Yep.
so I couldn't go any further.
We're in Valona. We can go to that shop that specifically does that. That's what they're for.
I know, but Yuelia's right here.
I tried already before. You
And
had
it's
me try
locked
Midway
behind
Burrows.
an
And
enchantment.
locked behind.
Did I really have you try that in Midway Burrows? I forgot I was wearing it. Okay, off to the people. Bye.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'll go
Okay,
with
so
her.
we're leaving tomorrow, so hopefully we can get people. I got us provisions. I totally ordered us some provisions just in case we can't like land for a few days, whatever. We got like 2 weeks of food and water.
Awesome.
It's pretty great.
Wait a second.
Yes.
okay.
You're back.
I
Hi.
have an idea. Okay, hold on.
Oh no.
Back again.
Got me thinking.
Oh no.
If these pirates are constantly in
They're
rain,
terrorists.
whatever. If they're constantly in rain, don't you think they'd want a protective cloak? What if they've bought from the man in Valona? Do you think we could ask him to check his books for any large orders of cloaks and to see if there's any names attached?
Your name would be on it.
Lydia, Crusix,
Yes.
given your guys' backgrounds, so to speak, your characters would probably be opposed to that idea because the way that they're acting as saboteurs, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, basically the way that they're acting is very covert, so they're probably not getting anything from this town.
They don't like Valona anyways.
They're not getting food, supplies.
They wouldn't pay money for that.
As they're not participating in anything in this town other than blowing shit up. Or at least that's what I imagine your character's point of view would be.
But they must get supplies from somewhere, and if we can find where they get their supplies,
that is true.
That might also help us.
Empire supply ships?
There could be another
Yeah,
ship
but where are
flying
they
in
coming
for supplies, but I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and we have very little answers.
Because they've been keeping this up. They've been keeping this up just a little bit after, maybe a little bit longer after than your trip to Midway Burrows. Like this has been going on for a good bit. So they would need supplies.
We have an echo question.
We do have an echo question.
You have an echo question.
We can cheat.
So I'm assuming that Aurora and I long cut up all that wood for that baker.
With a chop off, you guys were just going to town like. I figure both of you were
more wood than he actually asked for. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Well, the thing is that he has the wood. He just doesn't have time to chop it.
Right.
So they lined them all up like 2 rows, and they were just staring at each other with axes, and they're like, "Go!" And they were going down the line. Who won?
In the rain, yes.
Who won?
We will have to decide that if you guys remember with
Rollies. Rollies.
But it really, really doesn't take you guys hardly any time at all to accomplish that. And
all right, I'm gonna get him to sign off and then bring it back to the guild.
Don't you want your reward?
Well, no. Actually, I just wanted to do this to help you.
Ask
but
for
I
a muffin.
do need you to sign off on it.
You just see him immediately dart in, and he just comes back with just a big basket full of like bread and sweets, and he's like, please. I said they'll go to waste anyway, please. And he has them covered so the rain doesn't get to them. But at least take this.
I have a lot of people who would really like this. Thank you.
And he's like, I know this wasn't probably any of the most adventurous tasks, but it means a lot to us that are really needing help in these crazy Valona days.
Aw, we should help that little kid find their cat.
Yeah, I just want to do my part to help out.
Thank you, Miss Breya.
Oh. He's gonna get an action figure now and display it in the shop.
We're actually going to make the correct one.
You need help
looks
finding
at the
that
one that's
cat.
for
I
sale
can't
and he's
communicate
like,
with
"What
animals.
is that?"
What happened?
I said, if you need help finding that cat, I can communicate with animals.
Gotcha. What did Breya say? Sorry?
I just pictured him going to buy one and then looking at it and being like, "What is that?"
But to anybody that, you know, has any sense, this is just the Aurora action figure, just painted different.
But yeah, I'll drop off the slip at the guild so they know the job is done, and then I'll bring the sweets back for everyone to share.
All right. I'm going to say that we're going to fast forward to the next morning. It's still raining.
Actually,
But,
I wanted to look into something while we were doing that.
sure.
Would I know if they
Not
do
fast.
resizing of weapons
Ooh.
in
That
Valona?
is also an enchanting thing,
That's what I figured.
but the Magical Research Institute does do that.
Okay. Then I would like to look into a new bow for
Take
LV
me with you!
and then resizing it.
I will
Like-
look at them with sad eyes the entire time.
Like, you
just
want to get
holding
a
my
+1
weapons.
bow?
Yeah, instead of her pixie bow, because she just has a pixie short bow, so it just does 1 plus her modifier. It doesn't even do damage. So even just a regular bow, but if I could look into a +1 bow, that'd be fine too.
It shoots toothpicks.
It basically does, yes.
Or
That's
you can get,
actually
like,
what her,
poison for her.
that's what her arrows are formed out of.
She's basically been using the world's smallest bow this entire time.
Love it.
Generally on the market, where they don't really haggle, but that's where you're going to find. That's the easiest way to find the stuff you're looking for.
Okay.
A +1 weapon, in this case a bow, would go for 3,000 gold pieces.
Holy shit. How about just a regular bow? Not a +1.
I mean, she's using a bow her size. The only thing that's going to really bump up her damage is to use a magical weapon that'll do full damage even though it's her size.
Oh, okay. So I would need to go something like a +1.
Or maybe something with a much more minor enchantment like the Ember.
How much would one of those cost if they have that?
I believe that would be half of that price, so it'd be 1,500.
Can she use a sword?
I'd rather.
She's more of a
not.
distance.
Yeah,
I'll give you like.
No, it's okay. It's something that it's not a big deal
Yes.
Her shtick is that she has a special kind of invisibility that doesn't reveal her when she does stuff. So she can actually shoot her bow and arrow without being revealed.
Gotcha.
So she's Bilbo Baggins.
That can fly, yes.
She's essentially got the bow that's from the Indian in the cupboard.
No, it's okay. I'll oh, wait, hold on. Maybe. You said it was 1,500, and then how much would it be to resize?
Resizing would be free. You guys are in an agreement with the Institute, so as long as you bring that kind of stuff to them and nowhere else in Valona, they'll do it for free.
I'm coming with you, and I'm just staring at them sadly, holding tough.
could do this. Damn, is it expensive. How much damage does a bow of... What'd you say it was? Flare?
This will be embers.
Embers.
And it depends if it's a long bow or a short bow.
Okay,
Are you
not
getting
showing
a
up.
long bow of embers?
The longbow would be more damage, though, wouldn't it?
And you could get the other elements too. It doesn't have to be fire.
Yeah. I'll save it for next time. It's fine. We can continue on with our session. I'll just do this in the downtime next time. I'll talk to you afterward.
Okie dokie.
We'll just retcon that in.
Yeah, just figure out, like, you can just start thinking of what element you want her to have.
Yep.
And...
If I even go through with it at all, it's just something I'm going to think about. So
Okay.
we'll just continue on. I don't want to hold this up for a
But
fucking bow.
Slow Step does show up in the morning. He seems kind of, the first person to spot him is Mirra. He seems kind of bewildered by all the noise and going-ons of the airport.
Oh my god, hi! We're over here!
Oh! Wow. As he slowly makes his way up to your ship.
I'll make my way down. You guys, so Step's here! He made it!
You're
Nice to see you again, Steph.
Hello.
Guys, how did you get a ship? This is yours?
It's actually Lydia's. It's a kind of a long story. I'm sorry, so we only call her Lydia now, okay? Lydia. Lydia.
Lydia.
Yes, we only
Lilith
call
who?
her
Lilith
Lydia.
died. This is Lydia.
Sure, got you.
What does Slow Step look like? Remind me. He is a turtle. Not turtle.
He is a turtle.
He is a turtle.
Okay.
What are you?
You're
not a
What
turtle,
are you?
but I am.
I'm
Breya's
trying to see. The thing is that he has
Mirra's shoulder, and then
what's
be
on
like,
the shoulder?
Sure. We don't say Lilith is now Lydia. We just say Lilith died. This is Lydia, and just stare at them until they understand.
Oh, Lilith died. This is Lydia. Lydia, this is our old friend Slow Step.
Yeah,
We
there you go.
just
That's fine.
stare at them uncomfortably until they nod. I don't know if I ever found a picture, but he has much more snapping turtle-like features.
Yeah, I remember seeing one, but it was way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back.
I do remember seeing this.
It was as
It was very snappy.
It was as close to what he would look like as I could possibly find. But yes. Okay, this would work. Let's just use this one.
Dorval, stop typing.
No. You're gonna like it.
Thank you.
I even like the painted shell. That's probably something he would do as well.
Cool.
Ooh.
Oh, I put that in the wrong chat. It's not a
That's fine.
monkey.
It's just a meme.
It's just a meme. Poor Dorval. Or poor Slow Step. There we go.
So, hurry up, hop aboard. We can't waste the day.
Are we taking Ressa with us then?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
No, I put it in there so we can research it more.
Oh,
yeah.
I
That's
thought,
funny.
I
That's so
thought that
funny.
was in your personal chat. Sorry.
No, I
Nope.
put it in.
It's a quest.
I
Haven't
didn't
found out.
even realize that I was typing, but I thought that was a personal chat. Like, who is the god of games? That's like, you haven't found out yet.
Well, if we keep asking him, maybe he'll slip up one
Maybe
day.
yeah. Whoops. Can I go to where I filled out a form and see if anyone wanted a job to work on the ship as an engineer or mechanic or
No one has actually applied for it yet, which is kind of odd because people, especially Crusix, can tell you people are always looking for work in Valona.
Okay, can I tell them to contact us, like, when someone applies?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Goblins will always be able to find you.
Is that us, right?
That's creepy.
He
Lilith-
didn't say no!
If Lilith ever dies, she's gonna be a goblin.
Right?
I
Okay.
The
will
male
forever
goblin.
find you.
What
So
else?
you just send our shit.
So
Yeah,
we
right.
have to find a way to get Ressa back here. However, they took her out. We gotta get Ressa back. We got our stuff. I thought there was one more person. I guess we'll wait for a message from Golvier. So I guess we're good. No one is saying anything,
No,
so
no
I'm
one
gonna.
has. Sorry, there's a lot of messages coming my way again.
Oh,
but
okay.
as far as Golvier, he has not responded back.
He's probably gonna make us like wait until we leave and be like, "Well, if you come back immediately, then I'll do it." Like the jerk
He's probably
face
not.
he is.
No,
He's
he
not
was
in
more
Valona.
friendly with us now.
I'm sure he
He
went back home.
was, but it's like he's still our
Didn't
rival.
he go to the, what was it, the undead area?
Yeah, he went somewhere.
He went towards the more like,
Northwest areas? No, just far north. No, whatever. Okay, so I think we're good.
I think we're good.
We're just waiting for
Alright.
Josh to go through messages.
I think
it's a new day. Is Commander Rider on the floor?
That's a good question. Next question.
Still talking to the king.
They had a sleepover. I wasn't invited. We still have our question to think about, you guys.
I don't know. The one that Lydia mentioned was a really good one. Just gonna throw that out there.
Well, if we were just like, oh, where are the...
How are they staying supplied?
Okay.
but
Oh, right. I did want to say, as far as loot goes, since I wasn't there to contribute to anything, go ahead and give that armor to, I don't know his name.
Dorval?
Dorval.
I think
Dorval, yeah.
who has less stuff? I think Dorval has less stuff than Lydia.
By stuff you mean AC
That's true.
or
What
stuff in general?
stuff in general? So I don't think Dorval has much stuff. Does
Don't.
padded give anyone like more? What would your ACs be with padded leather armor?
I'm sorry,
Uh,
give me a
same.
minute. I'll let you know.
But at this point, I'm going to say that you guys are about to take off. Seems
Okay.
that we are about.
Did they let us just take Ressa?
Yeah, they're more
Okay.
than they kind of advise against it because they think she needs greater medical care than what
We
you guys.
hired someone for that, okay? Although, is there any like supplies we should buy, like medicine? Like we
It's one
hired.
of those sounding things. It's like we can do just fine without you. But
Pretty
what
much.
do we have?
Hypothetically, if we
Hypothetically.
were
Hypothetically,
stuff, exactly
what do we need?
we hired a medical assistant, so thanks. We're fine.
Breya is taking more naps than normal.
By the
Oh,
way,
I'm helping you pray if that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
but for the record, the egg actually starts to just kind of glow on the inside when you guys do that.
Oh, I give Egbert a hug.
It's very warm.
And then I reach and I find Dorval and I put him in for the hug. So we're both hugging
I
Egbert.
definitely hug Mirra back.
Hugging.
And there was much hugging. But at this point, Slow Step has joined your group.
Sweet.
You guys have all your supplies for at least 2 weeks.
Yes.
For ship supplies, anyway.
Mm.
Oh,
have the boys gotten back?
Yeah.
You can't leave without the boys!
The boys have gotten back.
The boys are back in town.
So, Slow Step, these are the boys. Boys. Slow Step.
How about Crusix?
He's like, hey.
What I do?
Let them know, or let him know who they are as well.
Hey, Crusix.
Yes, sir.
Time to stir the pot.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No stirring. No stirring required.
I'll let it boil now. Make sure you watch it.
It's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Can you imagine if, like, someone came up and was like, is that Dorval? And then just being like, no, that's Valdor. Totally not Dorval.
Well, I mean, technically, I might have people looking for me, as you guys know.
Yeah, I just picture Breya desperately trying to be like, it's Valdor Crush Rock.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
Lydia comes from below the deck. Oh, hey, Dorval, you left your stuff downstairs. Oh.
Oops.
And Lydia would do that too.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm worried what's pot is being stirred right
And
now.
that's a big pot.
I have the concerns, you guys.
I am a big feller. I mean,
So, Josh,
I mean,
Sir.
when we do the prayer, I'd like to try and bond with the recorder as well after, and I would like to try and play the recorder if that's possible.
Sure. Make a constitution saving throw. Make a charisma.
Constitution, holy shit.
that is
No.
fused poison out of
Where's
its.
that going?
19.
Oh wait, Josh.
Why would a recorder need a constitution saving throw?
It's cursed.
Good job, Josh.
So I got a 19.
It fights back, but you inevitably are like, listen here, you little shit.
This is for the
important to
baby.
me.
Okay. Playing a lullaby for the baby. You be nice.
That's crazy. I have a +7 to my charisma save.
Do I have anything?
Damn.
I have a +7 to intelligence.
Nice.
Not many things do.
Here's
I
my
need to start
three.
utilizing my persuasion more because I have a +10 in persuasion.
See, I'm trying to get that feat.
Oh, you have
so
a +10 too?
I do
Yeah.
not
I
have
was the only
plus-
one with a
Oh,
+10.
Come on!
I have
I
a
need
plus
better. No, perception is what I want, and persuasion. What do
I have a +10 in persuasion and a plus. My next highest is investigation, and it's a +8.
Oh, my persuasion is +6.
Dummy.
I can help you guys. Persuasion,
Oh,
performance,
yeah.
perception.
Do with it what you will.
Oh no! Stop stirring. It's done.
And if Mirra's helping, I'd like to utilize the book too. If you use the book, I'll use the recorder for the prayer.
Okay.
And fun times were had. But if you are playing music, give me a performance check. Not that you really fail, but better is better.
Cool. Uh, 22.
Okay. Whatever you choose to play comes out marvelously, just as you intend.
Awesome.
Since Dorval did a prayer for my Eggy, I'm going to use his music and help do a prayer for Ressa, because he said he was going to help pray for Ressa. So then I'll pray to Morgan for Ressa.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Dear Morgan, please watch over our friend. And, you know, I hope Jarvin's doing okay up there with you. Like, his husband, like, really misses him, and it makes me sad to see him sad. So I want to make sure that he is happy. So watch over him, too. And, please, and thank you for blessing my egg. But Ressa really needs your help right now, and I would super appreciate it. And, thank you for everything you do.
Dorval cries a happy tear.
Oh! Happy tears. Okay. We're all prayed out down here. Slow Step's probably like, what the hell?
Right?
Spiders and eggs.
Slow Step's methods are very shamanistic. Druid-like. So
Oh, awesome.
he's all for it.
What does he think of what's now one giant, like, 2-part nest that I built down here of, like, 20 blankets for Ressa and Egbert? Because it's all just blankets and extra sleeping bags just everywhere. Like, well, you could set up anywhere around here. I kind of just built them a nest.
But before you guys take off, did you guys want to use your question with the remaining time?
Yes. Do we ask how the Empire terrorists that are currently plaguing Valona are being supplied?
Yes.
I think that's a good
Yes.
Okay. And I word it like that. The Empire, because I want them to know, like, the Empire, but I want it to be specific and that it's the terrorist ones, the ones that are here.
That are flying in the sky through Valona and attacking Valonan ships.
Yeah, those.
Were you going to say something, Crusix?
Yes. As everyone starts gathering up onto the ship and the boys approach, Crusix's face kind of goes a bit pale, and his left hand almost switches down to the handle of his whip, but stops. Pulls his hand away, and he looks down to Mikey's character.
Sorry, who?
I don't know your name.
Yuelia.
Yuelia.
I can't even say that sober, dude.
Yuelia.
Just break it down. Yuelia.
Just don't accidentally call him Yuelia like I keep doing.
I kind of give Yuelia a quick look and kind of give her like almost like a frantic kind of nod to the side, like, "Hey, I need to speak with you real quick privately."
Sure. And then I'll. What's wrong?
I look around real quick to make sure that no one followed us.
Breya will offer sweets to the boys.
Hey, I'm just going to throw this out here. Miss Stupid High Passive Perception.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Miss Passive Perception of 29.
I can hear everything you're saying.
It's just for a moment, like, literally a flash. Like, Mirra doesn't even know if, like, she rubs her eyes and it's already over, but you could have sworn that Nikolai had a crazy eye moment going for a second, looking at Crusix. Like,
just to make sure.
That was kind of scary, the look he was giving for a moment.
Just to make sure, the boys are the bandits that we have transformed, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm offering them sweets from the bakery as this is all happening. These are so good. You have to try these donuts.
Happily oblige, especially Jopa. He just stuck his face. Oh, so good.
What's wrong, Crusix?
destroy you. Sorry, I had to stir the pot one more time. I had to give it one more twist, as you say.
Uh-huh. What did you need?
Oh, sorry. I was asking a question. He kind of leans down a bit and says, "Where did you pick those boys up from?"
It's a long story. We found them inside a mine, but they belonged to a group of pirates that were in league against not Rydia. Why did I say Rydia? Lydia against
Lilith.
Lydia's thing. There's this whole thing, but we managed to convince them that there's better things to do than throw away their lives. So they've chosen to join us and help us out for menial tasks on the ships. They're not fighters. They're not fighters.
I give a quick glance towards Nikolai and say, "You need to turn him over immediately to the authorities or get rid of him. He will kill every single one of us within a blink of an eye. I'm not kidding. This man is dangerous."
Did you say that out loud or just to me?
Whispered to you.
Is that my husband?
Yes. It is your husband.
No. Are you sure this is him? Is he that dangerous?
Yes. Have you ever heard of the name? I clicked away from your name, Josh, and I can't find it.
You want me to type it again?
No, I got it. I asked him, "Have you ever heard of the name?" You might have to.
Dun, dun, dun.
Seriously, there's only so many messages here. How?
Have you ever heard of the name?
Thank you.
Muffin
Have
Man.
you ever heard of the name Slick Nick?
Like Nick. Shot in the dark. No.
There's
Sorry,
there's somebody also here who has, but
I was like, I'm a bookworm. I follow books and everything. If he's not really famous, I can't say I have.
Just don't
But
say the name out loud.
hey, Lydia,
Hey.
can you come here?
So
Oh,
while
there.
I'm gonna interrupt for a sec. So while they're over there talking, I'm like, I grab a snack and I'm like eating and I'm watching the boys eat and I kind of just I'm looking at Nikolai and I like get close and I like pull down his eyes and like.
Have you been getting enough sleep?
he seems kind of bewildered. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You
I'm
looked
also.
a little. You had a weird look. Are you feeling okay?
Oh,
Is this turning into a
Look at
throuple,
Brady.
Mirra?
it's kind of been.
As I walk over and wrap my hand around Nikolai's shoulder.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just had like a weird look, and I was worried. Did you guys find everything okay? Did I give you enough money?
Oh yeah, it was more than enough. Thank you. I think the rain is just kind of getting to me, being that it's been just raining straight for so long. I'm a sunshine kind of guy.
Oh, we'll get you down, and we'll have your hubby here dry you off, and you guys can have a nice rest. We're gonna go and find some people to talk to. Oh, and so so that's over there. That's Crusix. We got some new members. So we got Crusix over
He
there.
walked away.
Oh,
So
oh,
Wait,
okay.
Josh, I realized I forgot to include Nikolai and the other guy in the cloaks, so I'm gonna take
Okay.
6 more platinum. So they're
yeah, that's fine.
How much more?
Jesus.
These are all weather cloaks. They're expensive as shit.
they're about
They're not just weather cloaks; they are high quality.
High
How much did you
quality.
spend on them?
you don't need to know.
I will tear it off their
Okay.
courses.
Oh no!
But to to wrap up the night here, we can still do the question, but to wrap up the night, so Lydia comes over.
Okay, we can stop there. Like, if we just want to ask the question,
Next
we can
time
just take
on
Next time.
D&D.
Yeah,
Next
because now
time
this
on
got to a
Dragon
part where we want to
Ball
talk.
Z.
This is gonna take a little bit, and I'd rather not take
Okay.
that time.
Okay, so we ask our
So
question
now
about.
we know, like, that's where we leave off. But let's
Cliffhanger.
ask the question.
Oh, great Dwarf Nauticus. Shatter us with your wisdom.
Calculating.
Right? It's like we were like, I don't know what we're gonna. Oh, man, we really need to do this and do that.
The question that I remember is that you want to know how the Empire is doing what they're doing.
No,
Yeah,
we wanted to know
I like that
Oh.
question.
how the thieves in the sky, the terrorists who are attacking Valona ships and leaving glyphs of explosions on them are being supplied.
Okay, so that specific question, it answers simply, the Empire is supplying them.
Oof.
Would have been better with how they're doing what they're doing.
Okay, but at least we know that that it's coming directly from the Empire.
Right.
the
In other words,
Empire-
we're not getting a scapegoat, or not a scapegoat. We don't get a spy or anything that's secretly supplying them. A double
But
agent. That's the word.
It does show you visually that they are, how do I put it? Like, it's kind of showing like random fields around Valona, and these just crates just fall out of nowhere onto the ground. And then it shows another random field, and the crates just, like,
Oh.
a circle opens up, the crates fall down onto the ground, and then the circle disappears.
Interesting. Okay, that's neat. So we don't have to waste our time looking out for supply ships or anything. So we go to a random field, and then we wait.
Okay. So there's that.
So we know what we gotta talk about next time then. So
All right. So
me and
I need to
Jarvin are
know,
gonna have a conversation with the boys.
We're not in the air yet. We're still on. Like, we're still in the dock.
Yeah, we like just boarded and we're getting ready.
Okay. And then all of this shit went down. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then I know how I'm going to deal with it.
But other than that, thank you all for showing up today.
Whew.
I hope you guys had fun. And
Yeah.
I will be on vacation next week.
Oh.
Next week.
I'll be going to visit my parents.
Nice.
Aw.
I don't know if that's going to include Tuesday. To be determined. But as soon as I know, I will state whether or not I will be able to DM for the 16th.
Okay.
Aye, Captain.
Okay.
Sounds good sir.
But as
You
it
can't
stands,
take your day off. That's impossible.
Rude.
No.
oh, back to drinking.
Wait, if the DM can't give himself a day off, then who can?
No one.
That's a good question. But again, I hope you guys had fun. Thank you guys for showing up and playing Dungeons and Dragons with me.
Oh,
If everything works out the way I intended, I guess, I will see you all guys next Tuesday.
Alrighty.
we love you,
Alright,
Josh.
Love you,
Love you
Josh.
guys too.
We just have
Be
to
safe.
sit here with the thought that there might be there might be a fucking villain on our ship.
Who the fuck is Slick Nick?
Dun, dun, dun.
Ah, not a cliffhanger. Oh.
Maybe Dorval is associated.
Oh shit! All right, I'm just killing everybody. Fireball.
Yeah, right. At this point, if you wait.
Fireball.
vanish.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shrike isn't
You
even
know what?
here
Even
right
better.
now.
Fuck that. I'm just gonna make an
Dude, if
explosive out of my
Shrike
Hellcat.
finds out,
Countersound.
there's
I'm just
gonna
gonna
be-
say, out of all of that, Yuelia never trusted them.
Aw.
That's just it. Oh, I guess it's only because like I myself wasn't there, so I don't know, but I don't trust them. But at
They-
the same time, I also don't trust Crusix. So
Well, they helped us cross a rope bridge when like I was about to fall, and someone else was about to fall, but I caught them, and then I asked for help, and they came and helped, and They were like surrendering. They didn't want to fight us. So they're like, dude, we just got hired. This is just a job. Like, whatever. And they were being super nice. Joba is the little bit dumb one, and he just wanted money to pay for medicine for his children or something. And Nikolai's married to Dorval, so
Second level for all that.
So we're not married.
it's a common law
fiancés.
marriage, okay? It's common.
I mean, sure.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's a short common law period.
You have Zone of Truth.
I do.
Hold on to that. Because I was like, I need to have that. I don't have that. But damn, do I want it.
That's so funny. Well, have a good night, you guys.
Because we're gonna be throwing that out to everybody.
Everybody. Are you telling the truth?
Everybody.
Give me a second.
Telling the truth? You telling the truth?
telling the truth? You telling the truth? You telling the truth?
Yeah.
You about to fucking kill us?
Here, how
Get
many
out.
times can I cast it? So I can cast it twice in a day if I don't cast any other big spells. So that's a second level.
You might need to. On a side note, I'm also taking something to hopefully help see those Invisidudes.
Oh, sweet.
To be more specific, you.
Who, me?
See Invisidudes. No, Mirra. She has the highest passive perception out of all of us. Her passive perception's what, actually 25?
22.
23?
Yeah,
22.
Jesus.
It's going to be
So
24 as soon as I have to work on my perception.
She can hear a fucking bird fart as it's passing by us.
I can
Right.
hear everything you guys are saying.
Mikey, that wasn't a fart. That was its tail feathers, and it was doing a mating dance.
No, that's what you thought it was. Mirra knows it was a fart.
It was actually a fart all along.
Mirra knows it was a fart.
I know.
I think
So,
I have the highest
could smell it,
passive
too.
investigation, and yeah, it's nowhere even near his perception.
My passive
see, what is-
investigation is
Um,
14.
I just closed my sheet.
Mine's 18.
Woo! That's a good
My,
one.
my passive perception's a 17.
That's
Look at
actually
that.
really good.
My passive investigation is a 17. Huh?
I just need.
My investigation's an 11 and insight's a 12.
I'm
do
trying.
My
want
insight's
to-
an 11 and perception's
I
a
do
13.
want to look into something. I just never had the time.
I'm working towards skill expert in perception. That's not even with expertise or anything. So
I have skill expert in Arcana. That's how I have a plus 10.
I need
Nice.
it. Like, I'm turning into a cat because of my bloodline thing. Like,
What are you? What are?
I'm a spirit touched, which is just like all of Gabril's people. Like, he could turn into like a mole or something.
Yeah, I really
And-
need to start. Sorry. You go ahead, Mirra.
Oh, you either have the ability to turn into an animal, or you just get passive animal traits. So I have ears, tail, smell. Now that I'm working on my spirit touched bloodline, I have cat eyes, which just happened last level. Hello.
Meow, meow, meow.
Hi.
Another 5 minutes.
Hi.
Do we need to take them out? Yeah, the bears were out last night when you were walking
Not the birds.
on the next street, like right there. Okay. Okay. Give me a sec. You got bears in the neighborhood.
Oh,
Jesus.
cool. Don't touch them.
I thought it was a
I
dog,
didn't think it needs to be fed,
dude. I always think everything's a dog around here. Like when I was security in this area, I was driving around, and I'm like, oh great, someone's black lab got out, like in the ditch. And I'm like, freaking A. So I stopped and I was opening the door, and then it looked up and I'm like, not black lab, bear, and I closed the door. I'm just sitting there like.
Stephanie yelled at me one time at her mom and dad, at my mom and dad's house when we went outside because there was a baby possum on the front porch eating cat food, and I went out to go pick it up, and I got yelled at for it.
I love the possums. Possums are my favorite.
Possums are the best.
I had to take
gonna go
down
for
all
now,
of my
guys.
plushies.
Okay, see ya.
Oh,
See
I'm
you,
sorry,
Noel.
bye.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
take down. I had like so many possum plushies and stuff, but I had to take them down because I got a paint because this room has really weird. It's like a dark green, and they have random tan splotches that kind of look like rocks. I don't know what they were going for, but it's nasty. So I had to move all my possum plush animals. It just makes me sad. Yeah, and it happened with me to a deer too. I'm like, oh great, someone's like, golden retriever got out. It was a deer.
Huh.
Like, wow. I'm very bad at identifying dog versus not dog. Everything is a dog. Hey, puppy! Bear! Bear! Not
Who's
puppy.
a good boy? Who's going to eat my face off?
Yeah.
I want to see how I can go about getting freaking ritual casting.
I mean, we get another feat in a few levels.
Yeah, but I want to try and get my intelligence to 20. Get that plus 10 to a plus 12.
So either items or it's something you can work on. Like
That's what I wanted to try and do, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm working on my perception.
Josh will usually get us 1 feat plus 1 stat.
On a level up.
On a level up, yeah. If
unless we want to choose just stats, in which case we get 3 stats.
Yeah.
Which I could really
Well, it could be 2 to 1 and then 1 to 1, I think it was what it was.
Correct. You can't do all 3 to 1.
You can't put all 3 to 1, but
Yes.
you could 2 to 1 and 1 to 1.
Yes.
Or you could do a feat and 1 to 1.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of getting, I don't know, because there's just so many good things with fucking ritual casting, and and if I were to get it, I would get the, what's it called?
The dome?
The dome.
The dome.
The tiny hut.
Yes. I loved the dome.
Just all good. Shrike isn't large, right? He's medium?
He's a medium creature, yes.
Then 9 creatures of medium size, so that's perfect, can just fit inside this dome, and we're safe. No one can get in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to try and get. And then I can also take water breathing, so that's kind of cool. I feel like, and I can grant 10 creatures water breathing.
Nice.
Which is really nice, and that's a ritual spell, so I just take 11 minutes and just grant everybody the ability to breathe underwater. Perfect.
Nice.
And then, granted, Shrike can already breathe underwater, but, you know, everyone else can't.
Yeah.
So that's something, because, you know, shit happens.
Shit does happen.
I don't know how long that lasts, but let's take a look.
It would be really great to use that along with Lydia's cursed boots of water walking. Because it's like, what if we have to go somewhere that's like underwater but like way far out? So it's like you just walk as far as you can, and then either you force yourself to take damage or something, and then you automatically sink, but you can breathe underwater. So it's not a problem if you sink.
The duration is 24 hours, so that's even perfect. Nice. I could literally put it on at the beginning of the day. In case God decides to drown us, here you go.
What? Yeah. Alright, I gotta go walk these dogs with the bear.
I gotta get going too.
Have fun. Don't get eaten by the bear.
Yep, don't tell me what to do.
See you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next week.
Hopefully.
If not, see you all the following week.
See you guys.
Bye, Mikey.